From Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville, Sports Channel presents Florida Gator football. Today, it's the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi in town to take on the Florida Gators. The Swamp in Gainesville, a beautiful place for college football, and for the first time in 2 years, great weather for a Gator home football game, homecoming against Southern Mississippi. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Vittel, along with Jim Yarbrough. Welcome back to our coverage of Gator football as the Florida Gators try to keep their homestand going with a victory, a homecoming victory against the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi. And Jim, for this Gator team, the defense may be the most confident it's been in a long time. A great effort against Georgia.
And they should be confident. What an effort against arch rival Georgia. Look at the school records that were set, Larry. Unbelievable. 3 touchdowns by the defense, 5 forced turnovers. They held the Dogs to 14 points, and Eric Zeier, the best passer in the country, got no passing touchdowns, and the Gators only allowed 2 conversions out of 11 attempts on third down.
Third down defense has been a real strength for the Gators this year. They're only allowing 24% completion on third down. That's not a good success rate for Gator opponents. Part of the reason Florida is 6-1 coming into this contest. But lately, the Gators have had some concerns on offense, particularly trying to run the ball. The run blocking has dropped off a little. Big reason for that, the absence of Jason Odom.
But he's back today, and the Gator offensive coaches are thrilled. Jason Odom, the 3-year starter from Bartow, just been truly outstanding from day one. Since his freshman year, he had some knee problems, but thankfully for that fun and gun offense, he'll be out there in a leadership position today.
So Jason will be kind of a new starter for the Gators today, and it's not the only one. The Gator offense, a lot of changes, partly to deliver some messages, Jim, and partly to give some kids a reward for their effort.
I think absolutely so, both of those reasons, and the message may not be so subtle, but today Dwayne Mobley, Chris Doring, Riedel Anthony, and Chris Braun, the Gainesville native who's a senior, all get a chance to start.
Now, homecoming is supposed to mean have fun, have Gator growl, go to the parade, and win big and win easy, but that's probably not the case today. Southern Mississippi is an outstanding football program. They can scare just about anyone. For more on that, let's go down to the field and Steve Babick.
Well, just ask Florida State, Auburn, and Alabama. They were upset by Southern Miss. Florida almost had a taste of that upset-minded Southern Mississippi back in the homecoming game of 1992. In fact, late in the game, it took a defensive play by Ben Hanks to preserve a 24-20 victory. So Southern Miss has no respect for homecoming, and they will be the homecoming opponent for the Gators here in 1994. And we'll have all the action of Florida and Southern Miss coming up right here on Sports Channel.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Dairy Farmers Incorporated. Milk, it does a body good. By Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the little yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. By First Union and the First Union check card. It's the card that works like a check. And by Bryan Foods, the flavor of the South.
Just because one thing goes wrong doesn't mean it won't cause a lot of other things to go wrong. That's why there's the First Union Reality Check, the hassle-free loan that helps you catch whatever curve life's throwing at you today. First Union introduces the Reality Check, the hassle-free loan that helps life run a little more smoothly.
I will discover a color.
I will be naked more.
I will be amphibious.
Find work as a fish.
Dance. Count waves.
Wear white cotton clothing.
See something beautiful.
I will memorize clouds.
Though meaningless.
Eat a mango.
I will put first things
I will
last.
build a castle on the ocean floor.
I will go explore.
I will get a really good tan. It's different out here. Norwegian Cruise Line.
During the past 14 years, Gator fans across the country have found that the best way to keep up with everything going on inside the Florida athletic program is by subscribing to GatorBait, a publication devoted to Gator sports coverage. Each weekly edition includes player features, game previews, locker room reports, and recruiting news. Now you can get 32 issues plus the Florida football and Florida basketball yearbooks. Just call our toll-free number to order your subscription. Make sure you really get inside Gator football. Subscribe to GatorBait today.
Hi, Birdie. Hey, mind if I drop in for breakfast?
Yeah.
Great. Yogurt. Healthy as all outdoors, huh? With trail mix. Looks delicious. Here, thanks. Great meal. Whoa! Could be my last. Yogurt. Good fast food from the makers of milk. Whoops. Hey, a celestial snack, huh? Milk, healthy and delicious. Frozen berries and honey, very light. Hey, it's a float. Get it? Oh, is it something I said? Milk, good fast food, does a body good.
The Swamp in Gainesville, Florida Field, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the site for homecoming '94 in Gainesville. The Florida Gators at 6-1 against the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi, who come in with a record of 5-4. Southern Miss's losses all to good teams: Virginia Tech, Texas A&M, East Carolina, and Alabama. Let's go down to the field and get the coin toss. Well, the Florida Gators lose the coin toss, but get the football because Southern Miss will defer. The Gator captains out there: Henry McMillan, Terry Dean, Larry Kennedy, and Aubrey Hill. Florida and Southern Miss have not played a lot against each other. This is only their third meeting. The Gators winning in '73, and again that '92 game Steve talked about just before our break. The Gators come out of the locker room in the south end zone and take the field here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Gators trying to maintain that momentum, that confidence they got from a 52-14 win over the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, I tell you, it's great to have a great day for college football in Gainesville. We've had a lot of rain for football the last couple of years, but it is absolutely gorgeous in the University City today, and we're glad you tuned in for Florida Gator football coverage here on Sports Channel. The Gators and Southern Miss. And Jim, the atmosphere around homecoming in this town is always very unique.
Well, there's a tremendous support for the University of Florida throughout the state. And obviously, a lot of folks, a lot of alumni look forward to coming back to homecoming, visiting with old friends, and supporting this Florida Gator football team.
Robert Rougeau is the referee for this ball game. Joe Fetterspiel, the umpire, and there you see the rest of the crew which will officiate this one. Both of these teams have had their share of difficulty with penalties, and we'll see if the flags are flying early and often. The Gators, the most penalized team in the SEC, and for Southern Miss, they drew 11 in their last ball game for 92 yards worth of penalties, and they also received 14 in flags for infractions against Texas A&M.
Well, you talked about these conditions. Couldn't be more beautiful as we look at the sideline. Coach Jeff Bauer, who leads this Southern Mississippi program. Overall, he's 18-24-1, much like Steve Spurrier. He played at Southern Miss, was a quarterback, an outstanding quarterback there in the early 70s.
And the Gators head coach, Steve Spurrier. Year 5 of the Spurrier era. The Gators have had tremendous success under Steve Spurrier's direction. Top record in the SEC in the 90s. His overall record 65-24-1. But his University of Florida record much better than that. He's only suffered 11 setbacks as the coach of the Gators, and they want to win that Eastern Division title again. They've clinched a share of it, but they'll have to beat either South Carolina or Vandy to be Eastern champs once again. There's the kickoff from Pierce, carrying down 1 yard deep. Riedel Anthony will bring it out. Riedel to the 15, tries to get to the outside, and he won't. He's dropped on a nice open field tackle by Jeff Favre, the younger brother of Brett Favre, now the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. Checking out the Florida Gator offense, Danny Werfel at quarterback. Chris Braun, a fifth-year senior walk-on from Buchholz High School, gets his first start as a collegian this afternoon. And up front, that's where it counts, and the Gators will go with Reggie Green at the right tackle. Jason Odom back in the starting lineup, as we mentioned earlier, a real key to this football team. Danny Werfel making his second start, his first completion. I'm sure will put him over that 500-yard mark. Werfel under pressure, fumbles the football, and it's still loose, and it looks like a Gator fell on it at the 10-yard line. That was dangerous.
Jason Odom on the left side got beat by Robert Brown, the outstanding sackmeister of the Golden Eagle defense. Look to the left of your screen. We talked about Jason Odom returning from an injury. Just on the outside rush, he didn't have the speed right there. to shut down Robert Brown, who's truly outstanding in the pass rush.
Wayne Mobley checks out. The Gators will go with 3 wide receivers, along with a tight end and a single back on 2nd down and 15. Werfel swings it out in front of Elijah Williams. He was open and had a couple of blockers, but the pass was too far ahead, and it's 3rd down. Defensively for the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss, up front, a couple of good ones. Michael Tobias, they think he's an All-American candidate, and Robert Brown out of Niceville, Florida, redshirt freshman who leads that team in quarterback sacks. The linebacking core is solid, led by Eugene Harmon. He's number 22, their top tackler. And in the secondary, Derek Hervey has 5 interceptions.
Robert Brown, the freshman defensive end, is on pace to set a school record in sacks.
Gators with 3rd and long have 2 receivers wide right, 1 left. They run the draw. Williams looking for running room. There's going to be a shove in the back called on the Gator wide receiver Chris Doring. The gain will be about 8 yards, and you would assume Southern Miss will decline the penalty and force Florida to punt.
Yeah, the Gators a bit sloppy with their first effort of the afternoon. There's the push in the back. Let's see if they decline the penalty.
They're waving no thank you from the sideline for Southern Miss, so the Gators will be 3 and out on their opening possession in this homecoming matchup with Southern Miss.
Well, this is a bit unusual.
Above the waist in the back, against the offense, refuse, 4th down.
See, this Gator offense held to 3 and out. Talked about Shane Edge's punting efforts this year. He's not had many punts, only 19 during the entire 94 season, but an excellent average, 44 yards per punt.
Ryan Pearson deep to receive the punt of Shane Edge, who has not been a busy man this year. Only 19 punts, 21 punt attempts. 2 of them were blocked and do not count against Edge's stats as a punter. It's a high driving kick, which will be fielded at the 35. Running right side, Pearson gets a block. That's in the back. Flags all over the place. Pearson runs out of bounds around midfield, but the shoves in the back will negate his 15-yard return and will set Southern Miss back closer to their 20-yard line.
Johnny Church doing an excellent job in coverage right there. Was the Gator defender that was hit in the back. Look to the right of your screen right here. You're going to see Church to the far right. Oh, was that 24? Yeah, number 24 got him. Marcel Rachel in the back, so that's a break for the Gator defense as the Golden Eagles will be closer to their 25 instead of their 35.
We have an illegal block above the waist on the receiving team. 10-yard foul. 1st down.
So instead of the ball at midfield, they'll have it at the 26-yard line as Southern Miss's offense goes to work. Chris Buckhalter, he's a good tailback, over 700 yards. He's also caught 14 passes coming out of the backfield. The offensive line led by Brent Duggins. He's the tackle, a senior out of Carrollton, Georgia. Good size up front for this Southern Mississippi football team. Golden Eagles offense has been on a roll lately. Their last 3 games, they've totaled 149 points, which is a lot more than they scored in their first 6 games. Heath Graham has taken over as the starting quarterback. He's just a freshman, but has already thrown for over 1,000 yards in limited playing time. He's got a lot of talent and a guy who can throw that ball downfield.
This is a team that wishes to run the ball first and pass secondly. Norman Joseph, the new offensive coordinator, actually replaced head coach Jeff Bauer as offensive coordinator. Bauer bringing in a new coordinator to help him out, but they predominantly would rather run first, establish the running game, and pass when they want to instead of when they have to.
Well, now Southern Miss is set to go on offense with 3 wide receivers and a single back set up behind Graham. That's Buckhalter, who we were just referring to. Play clock all the way down to 2 at the snap. Graham throws in the flat. It's complete for a very short game. Mark Montgomery, his favorite target, but it's going to be a long day at 2 yards per completion, which is what they got on that one. Up front for the Florida Gators, Ellis Johnson, the senior out of Wildwood, a married man for all of 9 days now. In the linebacking core, Ben Hanks. Remember, his strip of the Georgia Bulldog Larry Bowie led to the Michael Gilmore touchdown last week. And in the secondary, Lawrence Wright back at his strong safety spot after his best game as a collegiate. Ben Hanks shows blitz, then backs off on 2nd down. Sweep left side. Buckhalter looks for the corner, gets it, and then he'll be run out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. short of the first down by a couple.
Excellent block by Ryan Pearson. Working on the Gators on the corner there. Working on Anthone Lott. Also Lawrence Wright on that side of the formation defensively for the Gators, but the Golden Eagles doing a nice job of getting outside there.
They like to run the sweep. We'll see a lot of sweeps if Southern Miss is having their type of ball game offensively. Double tight end on 3rd and a couple. Jumping around, nobody moved. Nobody penetrated, so there's no flag. Buckhalter breaks it outside, and he'll get up to the 37, and that'll be enough for a Golden Eagle first down.
Buckhalter did an excellent job of dipping inside, just freezing the defense just for a moment. Then he bounced outside to pick up that extra couple yards. Watch him as he turns the corner. He's going to dip inside on Hanks, then come outside. Hanks was frozen momentarily there, and by the time he could react, make the tackle, the Golden Eagles have a first down. So the first down of the ball game is made by the visiting team, the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles.
Well, that 24-20 game 2 years ago certainly put a scare into the Gator crowd, and right now the Gator crowd's kind of sitting on their hands waiting for something to cheer about. Graham on first down. There's Big Ellis Johnson. He wraps up Harold Shaw for a loss.
Ellis Johnson so quick off the ball, rated by many pro scouts as the #1 defensive tackle in the country. Kevin Carter gets a lot of laurels as a defensive end, but Ellis Johnson not to be overlooked, an outstanding defensive tackle, and it's his quickness that is so impressive.
For Ellis Johnson, that is his 5th tackle for a loss this season. 2nd and long.
James Bates seeing a lot of action here at inside linebacker for the first time this year.
Graham to throw. Throws it, picked. Oh, Lott did not come away with it. Anthone was there, but he did not come up with the interception. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, Anthone Lott has a great chance for another turnover for that Gator defense, almost picking up where they left off last week. But Fred Brock, the intended receiver, ran a hook route on the left side of the offensive formation. Anthone Lott can't believe he couldn't come up with that catch.
Anthone had that interception for a touchdown against LSU earlier this season.
Darren Hambrick also seeing more action than Ben Hanks right now at that outside linebacker position.
Gators stay in their base defense on 3rd down and a dozen. Receiver split wide to the top of the screen. Graham, pretty good protection, runs out of it. Throws the drag, tight end, fumble. Gilmore's got it. Michael Gilmore in traffic, gets out of it. Still on his feet, but down he goes at the Southern Miss 43. Terry Hardy had the ball, and he was nailed, and that ball came flying out. No touchdown this time for Michael Gilmore. Let's take another look.
A little bit of pressure here as Heath Graham gets some heat late. He dumps the ball out into the flat to an alternate receiver, the tight end Terry Hardy. Darren Hambrick strips the ball away, and Michael Gilmore is there to get the bounce. Hambrick and Gilmore obviously with big touchdowns last week against Georgia.
On first down, the Gators run. Fred Taylor nowhere to go, and I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage as that play was stuffed from the get-go. In there was Cedric Walthaw.
Walthaw with a huge hit from his inside linebacker position. The big 6'1" sophomore did an excellent job filling the hole right there. That Gator running game, as you mentioned, Larry, has kind of been on a semi-hiatus here for a few quarters. It'd be nice to see that running game get cranked up again, and I'm sure that's one of the things Coach Spurrier wants to accomplish in this ball game.
So Danny Werfel facing a 2nd down and long at the Southern Miss 44-yard line. Looking for the blitz. It's not coming. Rolling right, throwing for Doring, complete. Doring inside the 20-yard line. First down, Florida. Sean Gamble makes the tackle, but a big pickup for the Gators.
L.T. Gully, the free safety, seemed to be frozen in the secondary for a moment. Larry thought Doring was going to break to the sideline, I think. Look at the bottom of your screen, the outside receiver. Now Doring's going to hook inside just underneath the safety. The safety's getting over there, actually overruns Doring.
That gives the Gators a 1st and 10. 25 yards on the play. Fred Taylor maybe a yard or two. The little bit of running room that was there kind of closed up in a hurry.
Nice block by David Swain on that draw play. Swain, the senior center. As you look at the freshman's totals for the '94 season, outstanding effort by Fred Taylor as a true freshman, over 600 yards rushing. Look at that average per carry, 5.6 yards. And of course, there's an outstanding freshman that he alternates to, Eli Williams.
Eli Williams is in the game. In the backfield is the lone setback. 4 wide receivers on second down for the Gators at the 18-yard line. Werfel, plenty of protection, swings it to Williams. Eli to the 10, Eli to the 6. It's first and goal.
Well, with a 4-man rush right there, the Golden Eagles are not able to put any pressure at all on Danny Werfel, and he finds Eli Williams as an alternate receiver coming out of the backfield. He's got excellent hands, obviously, with 21 receptions already in the '94 season. Now look at the protection. You're going to watch Jason Odom and Dean Golden on the left side. There's no penetration at all. Just a little move up by Danny Werfel. Finds Eli coming out of the backfield. Look at Aubrey Hill doing the blocking downfield.
Gators will have no one in the backfield on first and goal. Southern misses offside. Free play. Touchdown. They didn't blow it dead, so the play should count.
Or did they? There's a bit of confusion by the officials if the play is dead or not.
They didn't blow the whistle.
And they're talking about it.
Well, this will be interesting. If they made contact, it is a dead ball, but you have to stop the play. No dead ball. It's a touchdown.
Offside against the defense. Review. Touchdown.
Yeah, if you make contact, it becomes a dead ball violation. Whoa, I don't know. I don't know. Did he bump up against him with his chest? Nonetheless, it's a Gator touchdown as Danny Werfel smartly went through at the play, as did Aubrey Hill, of course.
Touchdown number 5 on the year for Aubrey Hill. That is the 16th of his Gator career. Mr. Perfect is automatic one more time. That is the 50th consecutive successful kick for Judd Davis. 43 extra points and 7 field goals. We're going to call timeout here at the Swamp. The Gators with an early 7-0 lead on Sports Channel.
Gator football is brought to you in part by Ronnie Robinson Dodge, Jeep Eagle, Emerald Princess, your Gold Star Dodge dealers, and the Jacksonville Jeep Eagle dealers.
Save 50 to 90%. 50 to 90%. You heard right. Save 50 to 90% during the giant warehouse sale going on now at Recreational Factory Warehouse. 50 to 90% off displays, scratch and dent, and one-of-a-kind portable spas and pool tables. All must be sold now, regardless of cost, with no reasonable offers refused. $2,000 scratch and dent spas as low as $700. $1,200 display slate pool tables from $500. Giant warehouse sale going on now at Recreational Factory Warehouse. Don't miss it.
So, do you like good, clean fun? Or would you rather play dirty? You can do it all in the two-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport. It has a 190 horsepower engine, optional four-wheel anti-lock brakes, uniframe construction, and air at no extra charge. And with savings like this, Cherokee Sport doesn't play hard to get.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Daniels. Well, the reason for that is Dexter Daniels and Cameron Davis are suspended for 1 game, a violation of Coach Spurrier's team policy. So you will not see Dexter Daniels or Cameron Davis in this homecoming game against Southern Miss.
Well, you hate to see that, but discipline is part of running a good football program, and Steve Spurrier has never been shy about doing that when he felt necessary. 5 plays, 43 yards. The big one, the 25-yarder to Chris Doring. And got the ball inside the 20.
Let's not forget how the Gators got in that position to have that short drive. It was a turnover again by the Gator defense.
Chris Buckhalter, the tailback on the kickoff return. He gets a little room up the middle, and then the Gators corral him. Kevin Freeman in on the tackle for Florida on kick coverage, along with Kedra Malone.
Well, I hope today we get a chance to isolate on Sam McCorkle, because he's a heat-seeking missile going down that field. Unbelievable collisions that kid has.
He just runs right into that wedge, the wedge breaker, they usually call that guy.
Oh.
They also call him the nutcase. You go running into...
Well, affectionately so.
Yes. Got an injured Gator on the field. Anthony Riggins.
Well, he's another guy that sells out on the coverage team, and he just got the air knocked out of him, it looks like. So that's the price you pay when you sometimes give the all-out effort.
Gators didn't do anything on their first possession, but after Hambrick forced the fumble and Gilmore recovered it, Florida going in for the early score and the 7-0 lead in this contest. This Gator football team will have back-to-back SEC games coming up after this, including next week against South Carolina, and the Gators can clinch the Eastern Division title yet again, Jim, if they can take care of the Gamecocks next Saturday.
Yeah, that was a big win by Tennessee over South Carolina last week that really helped the Gators out. Obviously, South Carolina had an excellent chance if they could have beaten Tennessee coming in here to face Florida, but now they've got more of an uphill battle.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Anthony Riggins on that play in the pile.
Oh, yes. Kedra Malone hits his own teammate Anthony Riggins. Obviously, they're all hustling, swarming to the football.
And he may be a little bit woozy, perhaps even a slight concussion, because that was helmet on helmet, and when you're still and the other guy's moving, you absorb most of it. Riggs a pretty tough kid, and he'll go out off the field under his own power. Maybe a little shoulder problem as well, because he's holding his arm in tight where guys usually will do so if they've injured a shoulder. So we'll get a report on that. Steve Babick will be checking out the Gator medical staff. And Southern Miss, rather. We'll talk about South Carolina next week. Southern Miss goes on offense for the second time. 3 wide receivers with no tight end, backs in the eye. Buckhalter gets the ball, and he gets a couple 3 yards before the Gator defense gang tackles him.
Mark Campbell does a nice job of forcing the ball carrier inside, funnels him right to James Bates, the inside linebacker. You know, Bates is so quick, and obviously he's got a lot of talent in the pass coverage defensive scheme, but he's a hitter as well. Even though he's not very large, he gets to the ball in a hurry.
There's James Bates, 2 interceptions last week. George Edmondson, good to see George back healthy. Had a little bout with pneumonia, but he won that fight. George back here as Mr. Two Bigs at the Swamp. On second down, there's a big hole opening up. Buckhalter makes one man miss and goes all the way to the 46 of the Gators.
Lawrence Wright misses the tackle in the secondary.
25-yard pickoff, and that's Howard McGee, number 38 on the carry.
Yeah, Howard McGee is untouched before he gets in the secondary, and then he gives a little juke to Lawrence Wright. Finally, Gilmore's over there with Lott to bring him down. That's obviously the biggest running effort of the afternoon for the Golden Eagles. Quickly hitting a seam at the inside there.
Against a Gator run defense that is one of the best anywhere. They'll keep it on the ground, up the middle. Not much running room that time. Closing down on the hole quickly for the Gators was Ellis Johnson.
Unofficially right now, the Golden Eagles with over 30 yards rushing, and the Gators on the average are holding teams to barely over 60 yards, around 62 yards a game. One of the top rushing defenses in the country. And the Golden Eagles, as we mentioned, feature the running game, so that'll be an interesting thing to watch this afternoon.
The only team that ran consistently on the Gators this year so far has been Auburn and Steve Davis. Of course, Steve Davis has been running on everybody since then. Graham off play action's got a man in the flat. It's caught for a first down. Ryan Pearson down around the 30-yard line before Wright runs him out of bounds.
Well, now Ryan Pearson is the number 2 receiver on this Golden Eagle team after Mark Montgomery. Pearson, a sophomore out of Bainbridge, Georgia. Runs a simple sideline route right there. Catches Lawrence Wright looking in the backfield, perhaps.
So now the Gator defense needs to stiffen as Southern Miss is closing in on scoring range. 10 yards from that red zone. Well, now they're about 11 yards from the red zone. Buckhalter did not get back to the line of scrimmage. The ball came loose, but it's been blown dead. Michael Gilmore thought he was off to the races yet again.
Looks like Coach Bob Pruitt, defensive coordinator, sent both inside linebackers in. Bates certainly was firing. I don't think they were that quick to read the running play. I think they were firing all the way. Look at yeah, Bates and Hanks are coming, and Freeman. You got 3 linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage right now, right there. That was just a case of the defense outguessing the offense.
Saw the ball came out, but blown dead, so nothing the Gators can do. Second down, they need a dozen. Jumping around McMillan, Henry got back on the draw. A little bit of running room, not too much. Kevin Freeman ends up making the tackle with a little bit of help from Henry McMillan. Pickup of about 4. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Ronald Jones, the fullback, gave up his helmet right there in his effort to make the block.
Golden Eagles will check in a couple of wide receivers on this 3rd down play.
Now, great opportunity here for Southern Mississippi to continue to threaten to get points on the board if they can convert this 3rd down. But as we mentioned, the Gators defense has been excellent on 3rd down, denying the offense the conversion to 1st down.
Only allowing 1 out of 4 3rd down conversions. Graham throws quickly and incomplete as Ellis Johnson was barreling up the middle of the field, and he couldn't wait for Buckhalter to make his break.
Absolutely so. Ellis Johnson so quick off the line of scrimmage. He split the guard and center, was right in Heath Graham's face before he even set up. That was just a pass rush hurry right there, and it's going to force the Golden Eagles to try the field goal.
And it'll be about a 42 or 43 yarder depending on the spot. Now he's going to set up at the 35. Only 1 out of 5 for Pierce from above 40, and this will be a 45 yarder from the left hash. Kicking right into the north end zone. You'll get a great view. It's on target. Will it get there? Yes, it will, with plenty to spare. So a good kick for Chris Pierce out of Jackson. And the Golden Eagles are on the scoreboard. 5:44 to go. Opening quarter. Homecoming in Gainesville. It's the Gators 7, Southern Miss 3.
Dakota Sport carries a lot of things, like a driver's airbag and rear wheel anti-lock brakes. It carries more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a comparable Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. But perhaps the most impressive thing Dakota Sport carries is this very attractive lease rate. Dakota Sport, a little bigger, a lot better.
See the new Dodge at your local Gold Star Dodge dealer today.
Last year, Shaq led the Orlando Magic to their first playoff ever. This year, they're aiming for the top. Catch Shaq and the boys as they take on Charlotte, New York, and Philly in a triple header of NBA action starting Wednesday at 7:30.
Hi, this is Shaq. You can catch all the Magic action right here.
Now, North Florida, you can have free, easy access to all the latest information with the First Coast Entertainers telephone hotline. Get all the most accurate and up-to-date information on what's happening on the First Coast with entertainment and nightlife, show dates, clubs, movie listings, and restaurants. Find out all the latest about the arts, museums, galleries, plays, and theaters. Keep up with what's going on in sports, recreation, and fitness. You can even check your weekly horoscope, listen to the joke of the day, and get the accurate time. Just call the First Coast Entertainers 24-hour hotline at 744-3366 and get it quick.
I spent a whole day in this suit. It ain't easy being fat. On the next Susan Powter Show.
Monday at 12:30 on Nifty TV 47.
The Florida Gators looking for win number 7 on the year. They're up 7-3, but the Golden Eagles on the scoreboard after that nice drive. Riedel Anthony with another kickoff return. He's got a big hole. One guy got a hand on a foot as he ran by. It was Ronald Jones, the fullback, who makes a lot of tackles on special teams, and that was a big one for Southern Miss.
Yeah, Jones, number 35, right there.
Jones, the guy on kick coverage, also the Gator fullback, or the Southern Miss fullback. Watch his helmet come flying. Got it. Hello.
That was on the last series.
I think James saw that happen in the Auburn game and said, oh, okay, you can yank. Don't pull the face mask, just yank the whole helmet off. Elijah Williams fights close to the 35-yard line. He got about 3. Cedric Walthaw in on the tackle along with Eugene Harmon, 2 linebackers. 46 yards on 8 plays. 3 minutes and 27 seconds on that drive.
Yeah, nice balance of run and pass. On the last play, as we look at Coach Jeff Bauer along the sideline, Dean Golden, the pulling offensive guard, tripped up a bit at the point of attack and wasn't able to complete the block. That's why there was a little bit too much traffic there, and the play didn't gain that much yardage.
Run the draw. Williams, guys holding on to his jersey. Bring back the tearaway jerseys. Elijah Williams would have had a big gain. Instead, he has to settle for about 4, and it'll be 3rd down and a long couple for the Gator offense.
Eugene Harmon, outside linebacker, number 22, is the guy that got the ride there. As you look at Eli Williams against the Georgia Bulldogs last week.
102 combined yards for Eli.
All-purpose yards. Both of these young tailbacks, as we mentioned, can run and catch the football coming out of the backfield.
They combined for almost 200 yards per game running and receiving. Gators on 3rd down will put it in the air. Werfel, Scott Williams doesn't see him. He's going to be sacked for a loss of a couple, and the Gators will have to punt again.
Oh, excellent coverage, I guess, in the secondary. Forced that sack. The protection was terrific. Werfel standing like a statue right there, looking for alternatives to throw to. Watch Danny Werfel standing solidly in the pocket there. Eli Williams is going to come clearing late, but he doesn't seem. And it was James Robinson, big number 98, getting the sack ultimately there. But that was a coverage sack, not a rush sack.
Absolutely. There's a wobbly kick from Edge, but it'll carry down to about the 18-yard line. Running to the right, that's Pearson again. Not much there. He'll be hemmed in and dropped at about the 23 or 24-yard line. 44 on the punt for Shane Edge and a 5-yard return.
Well, Shane Edge right on his average. He's that 44-yard average, certainly one of the best in the Southeastern Conference and in the nation, but he doesn't really qualify for any statistical awards right now because he's had so few kicks.
Yeah, to be in the punting leaders, I think you have to average 2.5 punts or 3.5 punts a game, whatever it is. He's not getting enough of them, but 2 punts in the first quarter today, a first there. Matt Pearson from Lafayette County High School over in Mayo enters the game as an inside linebacker spot. They fake the draw. Graham under pressure, throws downfield, and it's incomplete. Ben Hanks with good coverage on the intended receiver, Adam Kennedy. But the pass rush really broke open that play quickly.
And we talked about the excellent pass coverage that the Eagles had on their sack. This time it's the pressure of the Gator front four that caused this pass to be thrown poorly.
There you see those senior defensive linemen, Ellis Johnson and Kevin Carter, side by side.
What a tandem, huh?
I don't know of a better one. There's some great players out there, but that's as good a tandem as anybody has. And timeout has to be called. Southern Miss not ready in time, about to take a penalty, so they'll call timeout. And we'll take a break with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the opening quarter of the homecoming game in Gainesville. It's the Gators by 4.
Last year, Shaq led the Orlando Magic to their first playoff ever. This year, they're aiming for the top. Catch Shaq and the boys as they take on Charlotte, New York, and Philly in a triple header of NBA action starting Wednesday at 7:30.
Hi, this is Shaq. You can catch all the Magic action right here.
Who can break the payment barrier on your next new car, Chuck? Conrad can. Conrad Hawkins Chevrolet Geo. Price will not keep us apart. Own a brand new 1995 S10 pickup, $99.77, only $194 a month. 95 Camaro, $14,997, or just $299 a month. Who can give you these great savings on brand new 95s this week? Conrad can. Conrad Hawkins Chevrolet Geo at the Avenues, breaking the payment barrier on your next new car or truck.
Hello, I'm Dick Stratton for Budget Office Interiors. If you're in the market for quality office furniture, why should you order from a catalog and then have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for delivery? Because of our huge inventory representing over 50 different manufacturers, we have what you're looking for already on hand, and in many cases, we can deliver it the next day. Convenience, quality, and price. It's all here at Budget Office Interiors, 3030 Powers Avenue, near the intersection of University Boulevard and Phillips Highway on the south side.
I spent a whole day in this suit. It ain't easy being fat. On the next Susan Powter Show.
Monday at 12:30 on Nifty TV 47.
Southern Miss with the ball. The Gators up by 4. Let's check in again with Steve.
Thanks, Larry. If Penn State has a reputation as linebacker U, maybe slowly and surely the Gators are getting the reputation as lineman U. Some former Gators not too far removed, Brad Culpepper, Tony McCoy, and such are in the NFL. Darren Mickle. Two guys that will join them in about a year include the Gators' Ellis Johnson and Kevin Carter, rated very highly by the NFL scouts.
Okay, Steve. Up the middle, breaking a tackle and going forward, Harold Shaw. He got close to the 30, might have gotten 5. And it'll bring up a 3rd down for this Gator defense. There's Kevin, number 57, out of Tallahassee Lincoln High School. Ellis Johnson from Wildwood. Neither one had the benefit of a redshirt year. They're both true seniors.
That's an excellent point. You can imagine how much better they might be if they were 1 year older. Redshirt seniors, but those guys have contributed from the day they got here as freshmen.
They have combined for over 32 sacks of quarterbacks in their careers. On 3rd down, here's the pressure from Johnson. Graham gets away from it, still rolling. Throws it back to the wideout Montgomery, who makes the catch at the 45-yard line for a Southern Miss 1st down.
Well, Ellis Johnson on his rush has plenty of depth to make the sack of Heath Graham, but he loses him as Graham rolls out to the right. He's trying to avoid that pressure. I think he saw Ellis Johnson coming. Look to the left of your screen. Ellis Johnson thinks he's going to have a sack, but Heath Graham saw him coming, moved to his right, and then throws back to his left. An excellent job by the freshman quarterback Graham.
Mark Montgomery, the top receiver for Southern Miss. He checks out, get a little breather. 1st down at the 45-yard line. Graham back, hit as he throws deep down the left side, incomplete. Stride for stride, Anthone Lott with Kendrick Lee. And Graham really took a shot from Ellis Johnson.
Ben Hanks in coverage underneath in the zone, and Anthone Lott has the deep responsibility here. Lott does a nice job of getting over as you see the pressure, obviously forcing Graham to throw the ball before he wants to. There's the pressure of the front 4, but also the guys in the secondary right there. Hanks and Lott doing an excellent job too.
Ellis Johnson checks out of the lineup for the Gators, and Keith Council, who batted down a Zaire pass last week, will get some good playing time here in the 1st quarter. On 2nd down, the Gators show blitz. Here they come, and Buckhalter tries to break loose and can't. Matt Pearson, the first guy there, and then he had help finishing him off from Michael Gilmore. McGee on the carry.
Pearson, Gilmore.
That'll bring up 3rd down and about 8. Matt Pearson out of Mayo. The Gators have done all right out of Mayo. Of course, Kerwin Bell was a walk-on from that school. Lafayette County High School, playing for Taylor McGrew over there. On 3rd down, Johnny Church in at right end. Graham with plenty of time goes to a wide corner route as Pearson broke it inside, and Anthone Lott just kind of shoved him a lot further into the middle of the field.
Oh, he really did. Lott got away with a shove way beyond the area near the line of scrimmage where you cannot make contact out there. But Lott, much like a basketball player in an open floor, just kind of pushed the guy a little bit with his body, and somehow the official missed it. That was a big break for the Gator defense.
Of course, that's one of the real key tactics and mechanics that coaches try to get DBs to do, is force the guy to round off his cuts whenever possible to disrupt the timing. Gators with pretty good pressure, and Pierce hits a bomb inside the 5-yard line, and it goes on into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and with 1:02 to go in the quarter, the Gators will get another chance. 53-yard kick for Chris Pierce, who only averages 38.4 per kick, so that was a beauty for the junior out of Jackson. Danny Werfel heads back onto the field with the Gator offense. Sean Nunn, who did not start today, is in the lineup, as is Anthony Ingracia. Aubrey Hill, who caught the touchdown pass, is also in for the Gators.
I don't think Jack Jackson's been in the rotation yet at wide receiver. We were told that he would not start, but I don't think he's been on the field yet.
He has not. He's wearing a baseball cap on the sidelines. Werfel steps away from pressure and throws incomplete right over the head of Elijah Williams. But the Gator pass blocking has not been getting a lot done here in the first quarter.
Well, Eli Williams is responsible for that blitzing linebacker, and after he missed his block, I think it was on Albert McCray, number 32. After he missed his block, Werfel says, well, I'm not going to take a beating here. I'm going to throw you the ball, and it'll be simply an incomplete pass. So really the blocking broke down because the back did not pick up his responsibility there.
57 seconds to go, opening quarter, 7-3 Florida on top. Werfel throws it in the flat to Sean Nunn, who's ridden out of bounds at the 28. So Sean Nunn makes his third catch in 2 weeks and gets the Gators third and short situation. Derek Hervey and Cedric Walthaw on the coverage for Southern Miss.
Werfel going to his tight end here. The tight end generally running the shorter routes. Obviously, they don't have the speed of the wide receiver core, but that was an excellent route by Nunn as he breaks to the sideline. Werfel goes to him as an alternate receiver, and they're very close to the first down marker here.
Last 3rd and 2, the Gators tried to throw it, and Werfel got sacked. This time they'll run it. Eli Williams has a lot. Williams up to the 40-yard line, a pickup of a dozen and a Florida first down.
Well, I think the Eagles were thinking pass there, huh? They were thinking pass. The Gators come back with a base handoff to Eli Williams. There's no fullback, no lead block. It's a base handoff. Look at the movement on the right side. Dean Golden, the left guard, David Swain, Donnie Young, both guards in the center doing an excellent job right there, opening up that gaping hole.
From the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Another draw, another big hole. Williams has 5, Williams has 7 yards before he's tackled by Albert McCray.
Once again, Dean Golden, the left guard, number 62, doing a beautiful job on the draw play, shielding his man to the right, allowing the back, Eli Williams, to break to the left of the offensive guard, Dean Golden.
There you see Dean Golden from South Plantation, and that 7-yard run will be the final play of the opening quarter of the annual homecoming game at the University of Florida. We head to the second period with our score: the Gators 7, Southern Miss 3. We'll return after this timeout on Sports Channel.
Gators clash with the South Carolina Gamecocks Saturday, November 12th at 11:30 p.m. on Sports Channel, home of the Gators.
It began in the heartland, in towns small and large. By building on the success of local independent businesses, this once little company has quietly grown surprisingly big. In fact, today it serves you at over 12,500 convenient locations. More than any other company of any kind in America. Citgo, feel the pride.
The marketplace is filled with computer publications that read like NASA blueprints. Until now. Introducing Home PC, the terrific new computer publication for people who want to get the most out of their home computers. Written in everyday English, Home PC is filled with great advice and information that will make home computing easier, more satisfying, and more fun. CD-ROMs, online services, multimedia, notebooks, games. Home PC will help you make sense of this exploding market so you can pick the programs and products that are right for you and your kids. Call the number on your screen and order today. You'll receive 12 monthly issues of Home PC magazine for only $14.97. That's a savings of 32% off the regular subscription rate. And with your paid subscription, you'll receive absolutely free the Fun Pack disc with software for everyone, including a daily organizer, recipe filer, games, and more. Home PC is what you'll want to read to get the most out of your computer. Order today.
Florida Gators will start out with a 2nd down and 3 from their own 47 as we begin play here in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers, Williams the only back. Werfel, here comes a blitz, he gets rid of it to Riedel Anthony, and Riedel's got a first down at the 28-yard line.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. By Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Cellular One, the first and only with digital phone service. Cellular One, you heard it here first.
On first down, Werfel throws behind Chris Doering on a curl route. Let's check in with Steve on the field.
Thanks, Keith. I'm with a very special guest. Leroy Neiman, great sports artist, is in town and was commissioned by a Floridian from Boca Raton to do a special rendition of a Gator game. Talk about how that came about.
Well, he's one of those enthusiastic alumni we have around here, and he just approached us some way, and I wasn't too warm to it, but we got approaches from the athletic director and Lombardi and a whole lot, and boy, I'm sure glad I'm here, because there's no rain or anything this year.
Now, I know you're going to do 250 that'll be signed by you, sold to help sponsor a scholarship fund for the University Athletic Association. And I also understand you haven't done this for about 15 years or so as far as a collegiate event like this.
A game like this?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's not exactly accurate. Who gave you that information? I do college games from now and then, but this is a great opportunity for me to be generous and use my talents for something else other than self-promotion, you might say.
All right, Mr. Neiman, thanks very much. Your work's well known. I mean,
they're about some of the players here. May I?
Yes, sir.
I think this guy Carter should be signed up with the New York Giants in the same color uniform, 1 digit off. And I like this kid, Jack Jackson, very much for a pro as well. I'm scouting the pros here.
Okay, thanks very much, Mr. Neiman. Good to see you. Larry, I'm sure you're happy to hear about that with the Kevin Carter prediction.
Absolutely. The Giants need a pass rush. The Gators need some timing. The last 2 passes by Werfel way off Chris Doering, and instead of a first down, the Gators will have to try a field goal here. It'll be a long one. Judd Davis hasn't missed all year, but it's going to be a 48-yarder, which will be his longest try of the season.
And I think he might have a bit of a breeze at his back.
He's got plenty of leg on it. Oh, just wide. Just wide, and Judd Davis misses for the first time this season. He's now 7 out of 8. He got it long enough, but just pushed it a little bit. So Southern Miss holds, and they'll get pretty good field position.
Yeah, that Golden Eagle defense did what they had to do. They were being pressed by that Gator passing game, but a few of those passes in the series were thrown behind the receivers, and the Gators weren't able to convert to the first down, forced Judd Davis to try his longest kick of the year.
And the officials have called a timeout down on the field. Not quite sure if there's a problem down there or not. 13:42 to go. We're in the second quarter. The Florida Gators leading Southern Miss 7-3, but these Golden Eagles, much like 2 years ago, the Golden Eagles come to Gainesville determined to play and determined to be very competitive. There's Tony Rowell out of Melbourne, former Florida Gator, and Alonzo Sullivan, who got his first career touchdown in a Florida-Georgia game. And I think that's where a lot of guys ought to get their first career touchdowns. Southern Miss goes to work offensively. They'll run the sweep. Buckhalter hit behind the line, stays on his feet, and makes 3 guys miss. And he turns a 3-yard loss into a 3-yard gain.
Mark Campbell almost makes the tackle in the backfield. Campbell coming from the right side of the defensive alignment right there, a defensive end. Look to the left of your screen. Mark Campbell's going to get deep penetration. Oh, he just can't quite reach out and make the tackle. Nice blocking by fullback Ronald Jones again, number 35 for Southern Mississippi.
Officially, they'll call it a gain of 3. Graham under pressure throws it away into an open spot. Nobody for 40 yards in any direction. David Bernard ran into the official and apologizes to him, but I tell you, Heath Graham did a nice job getting rid of that ball and not taking the sack.
David Bernard is the guy that really creates a problem here. He splits the block of the guard and center. Bernard in the face, and is he going to hit the official? No. Just scares him, I think, by yelling at him. Just yelled at him a little bit.
Yelled, gosh.
You're talking about ships in the night. That's a freighter right there.
There you go. Gator defense on third down, tries to get the ball back. Graham on the right side, or the left side, incomplete, intended for a lunging Fred Brock, but it was the rush of Johnny Church that threw off the timing on that out route.
Yeah, Fred Brock along the sideline, making the break near the first down marker, but they're not able to make that conversion. Again, the Gators have historically throughout the '94 season done a great job on third down, and once again they forced the Golden Eagles here in this situation to punt the ball away.
Pierce had a long kick his first time, 53-yarder that went into the end zone. Now Southern Miss will change its alignment to get a blocker in there. The Gators have 10 up front. Pretty good rush. They blocked it. Loose ball. Who's got it? Michael Harris falls on it at the 2-yard line. Big Sam McCorkle. He plays big, and he's blocked another punt.
Well, we talked about the heat-seeking missile. Sam McCorkle on the coverage teams. Well, he's so quick in the punt rush right here. McCorkle very excited with his efforts right there to the left of the screen. Unblocked. All right, there's a break. There's a breakdown. McCorkle is unblocked as he penetrates right there in a huge turn of events for the Gators.
All those Gators around there, those punt guys are thinking touchdown, but Mike Harris fell on it to make sure it didn't get squirted out of the end zone. Gators with 3 tight ends in there. That's a jumbo formation. And Fred Taylor to the goal line. Touchdown!
Well, power football with the most powerful of the Gator freshman tailbacks, Big Fred Taylor. Eli Williams the quickest. Taylor a little bit stronger, and you see him right there fight desperately to get into the end zone, and he does so.
Fred Taylor picks up the touchdown, but Jason Odom comes limping off the field. And he'll get medical attention on the Florida bench as Judd Davis hits another extra point. That's 44 straight this year and 60 in a row over the last 2 seasons. There's timeout on the field with 12:38 to go in the first half. The Florida Gators, thanks to the blocked punt by Sam McCorkle and the 3-yard run from Fred Taylor, take a 14-3 lead on Southern Miss.
When the weather calls for waterproof, there's one mascara that's remarkable. It washes off easily with just soap and water. CoverGirl Remarkable Washable Waterproof Mascara. You get CoverGirl Beautiful Lashes, waterproof lashes that weather any storm. But unlike ordinary waterproof mascaras, it washes off easily with a touch of soap and water. That's remarkable. Remarkable Mascara. Waterproof lashes all day that soap and water easily wash away. From CoverGirl.
Dakota Sport carries a lot of things, like a driver's airbag and rear wheel anti-lock brakes. It carries more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a comparable Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. But perhaps the most impressive thing Dakota Sport carries is this very attractive lease rate. Dakota Sport, a little bigger, a lot better.
See the new Dodge at your local Gold Star Dodge dealer today.
Jason Odom conferring with Dr. Pete Indelicato over on the sideline. He was limping very obviously coming off the field following the touchdown. He did not stay out there for the extra point.
He looks distraught too. I hope that's no indication that he might be having more problems with that injured knee that might be significant. Let's hope not. You know, Riggins is now off the coverage team. He was bruised up a little bit earlier. Hopefully he'll be okay.
The word on Riggins, pinched nerve in the shoulder, so he should be back. Up the middle, and the return man is hit and dropped at the 28-yard line. Xavier McCray, the X-Man, stops the 19-yard return. So now the Gator defense goes back out there, with the Gators up 14-3 early in the second quarter. There's McCray.
Well, so many times that offensive unit will give the defense a lift when they get additional points on the board. Hopefully that's the case right here. The Gator offense got another touchdown as a result of the block punt. Obviously, great work by the specialty teams, but hopefully the defense will feed off of that success and continue to play well here.
With split backs, Graham rolls left, looks left, throws left, and he's got a first down. Ryan Pearson out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. It'll be a 10.5-yard pickup, good enough for a first down. The Gators, or rather Southern Miss, with their first 4 possessions, and really have not managed a great deal of offense against this Gator defense.
Although on only one of those 4 occasions were they 3 and out, so they have had a chance to move the chains a little bit. They've had the ball on a number of occasions for more than 5, 6, 7 plays, keeping that fun and gun offense on the sideline.
Kevin Freeman and Jason Bartley now the inside backers for the Gators. Quick pitch to the outside, lots of room. Still on his feet, first down yardage into Gator territory is Harold Shaw.
Looked like Darren Hambrick got caught out of position right there. I think he was blitzing to the inside. A lot of times a play will be called and the defense will outguess the offense. That time the offensive play was perfect for the defense the Gators were running. Hambrick was at the point of attack right there, was initially going to blitz to the inside, and they pitched to the outside, and he could not recover in time.
So Southern Miss in Gator territory again at the Florida 49-yard line. 2 plays, 2 first downs on this possession. Won't be 3 for 3 as running into the pile Shaw, and then he was dropped. Lawrence Wright in on the play, also Michael Gilmore.
Well, the pile was Kevin Carter initially too, Larry.
Let's go down to the field, get an update from Steve.
For Jason Odom, he injured that right knee again. Apparently he was cut block on that play and on the blind side and came off with a sprained right knee. Dr. Peter Delocado mentioned that they will evaluate him in the locker room at halftime and see what his status is for the second half. But the way Jason has reacted on the sideline, I'd be surprised if he came back in this game.
Same knee, right, Steve? That he hurt
same knee,
against
same right
LSU.
knee.
Okay, thank you. Eric Kresser getting loose down on the Florida sideline. See if he gets a chance to play, and now the Golden Eagles will call timeout just before the play clock expires.
Well, there was talk during the week that Kresser would play in the first half regardless of the situation here in this ball game. This was pre-planned by Coach Spurrier. You talked about those rewards earlier, getting kids a chance to start. Well, Kresser didn't get the chance to start, but he's going to get a chance to play when the game's in doubt. Play in the first half. Coach Spurrier thinks he deserves that reward.
Well, Eric Kresser, a very talented passer from Palm Beach Gardens. Again, sometimes it's hard to wait your turn, waiting for a chance to go out there and show that you can get a few things done. He's only thrown 13 passes this year, 7 completed, a couple touchdowns, 1 interception for the third-year sophomore, and apparently he will get an opportunity to get in here in the first half of the ball game. The Gators took a 7-0 lead. Southern Miss answered with a field goal, but McCorkle blocked a punt. Mike Harris fell on it on the 3-yard line, and Fred Taylor ran it in to make it a 14-3 ball game. Jeff Bauer, the head coach at Southern Miss, has a team that Coach Spurrier says is as well coached as any that the Gators have gone up against this year, and that's saying a lot.
Well, we're disappointed with their 2-8-1 record last year. This year they're 5-4 and much improved.
Getting a little noise out of the crowd now. Little delay counterplay. And running for just a yard or two, Howard McGee. The Gators strung it out nicely with Kevin Carter doing that part of the job. And then it was Hambrick and Jason Bartley on the tackle.
Right, Kevin Carter crashing to the inside. Darren Hambrick out there making the tackle in the open field.
So it'll be 3rd down for Southern Miss. The Gators will check in some extra coverage guys. Mike Harris comes in. Lawrence Wright checks out. Now they'll stay with just straight substitutions. They'll stay with the base defense. Hambrick and Hanks both on the field. Ran back, here comes pressure, down he goes, Kevin Carter, the first man there, and then Henry McMillan added the exclamation point.
I think Carter and Campbell might have switched positions there on the field that time. We see Kevin Carter playing a lot at the left defensive end. This time he's at the right defensive end on the top of your screen, and that's to give those offensive tackles a little bit more to think about. No, actually it was Mark Campbell who made the pressure from his normal right side position, and Kevin Carter was able to make the sack.
End over end punt. Sorolla Palmer signals fair catch and makes it at the 18-yard line. The crowd oohs and ahs, but he saw 6 jerseys. They were all white jerseys, and discretion the better part of valor there.
Well, I can count on no fingers the mistakes that Sorolla Palmer has made this year. You know, he's not made one, and that's what you want from your punt return guy. Don't try and be a hero too often. Do the right thing.
Eric Kresser checks into the ball game for the Florida Gators. There you see his numbers, 97 yards passing this season. He and Danny Werfel, I'm sure, will have a spirited quarterback battle in this upcoming spring and on into next year. Makes the draw on 1st down. He's looking deep, and he throws deep down the middle, and it's tipped and caught. What a break! Riedel Anthony, they won't catch him. Touchdown, Gators! The 3rd touchdown of the year for Riedel Anthony. It looked like it was going to be intercepted, but it turns out to be a big play for the Gators.
Yeah, Eric Kresser says, what mistake? I'm not making a mistake by throwing the ball downfield, but he almost made a huge mistake as Melvin Ratcliffe, number 30, was over there to double team at the last moment on Riedel Anthony, but the ball was tipped by Ratcliffe instead of being intercepted, and Riedel Anthony runs in for the touchdown. How many yards did that cover?
87 yards. Boy, you talk about a passing efficiency rating, 1 for 1 and 87 yards in the touchdown. That's about as good as it gets.
Now, Coach Spurrier's over there saying, Eric, good job, but, and here's the but. Kresser really has great protection, lets the ball fly. Now watch Ratcliffe. Oh, he's there to make the play. No, he cannot make the play, and the ball falls into the hands of Riedel Anthony, and the freshman celebrates beginning at about the 5-yard line.
And we'll take time out. Florida leads it now 21-3.
Hi, I'm Ann Liguori, host of Sports Interview, the show that brings you in the living rooms of some of your favorite sports personalities. We're controversial at times.
You know, I picked him as the #1 center of all time as far as concerned because he was a complete basketball player.
Personal at times.
But you want that, because you can't, we're talking about TV, we're talking about making
Here's why we have a great marriage. We never agree on anything, but we know that from the start.
But we always learn a lot and have a great time doing it. So join me each week on Sports Interview.
The Gators and the Dogs. For almost a century, the Florida-Georgia rivalry has been one of the best in the nation. Now fans can relive all the spectacular moments of this historic battle in the exciting new video, Border War, the legendary battles of the Gators and the Dogs. Call this toll-free number now to be part of this great rivalry through action-packed highlights and inside interviews. See some of the greatest players in college football history. Get the inside scoop from the legendary coaches in the series. And see all the incredible plays that will live on forever. Call now to order your copy of Border War, the legendary battle of the Gators and the Dogs for just $19.95 at 1-800-539-1117. Order your copy of Border War today. That's 1-800-539-1117.
Riedel Anthony out of Belle Glade, Glade Central High School. Tremendous talent came into this ball game, averaging 19 yards per reception. That 87-yarder is not going to hurt him any.
Won't hurt Eric Kresser either, will it?
No, it won't. 87 yards, 11 seconds. Deep kickoff will be fielded at the 1-yard line by Harold Shaw. Shaw coming the right side, looks for room, can't find it. Harris hits him and drops him at the 16-yard line.
Mike Harris with a big in-your-face hit right there. The outstanding safety sometimes in the Gator defense, gets a chance to play more often in the coverage teams. We talked about Sam McCorkle earlier. Let's take a look at Sammy right here. He gets hit in the back. He doesn't stop. Okay, Sam gets hit in the face. He doesn't stop. Pursuing. Then he gets a piece of Eddie Lake. And Mike Harris. Oh, nice effort.
Sam McCorkle, a walk-on who was awarded a scholarship for his tremendous effort on Florida special teams. And guys like that don't get really appreciated enough.
Well, we hope we can get them appreciated by talking about them like this. Out of Fort Pierce Central, as you mentioned. Just a junior, so we'll have fun watching him play next year, too.
To keep up on what's going on with the Florida Gators, be sure to join Mick Hubert and Steve Spurrier Thursday nights for Gator Hotline, when you can talk live with the Florida coach, and every Sunday at noon with Florida football highlights. Keep up with the Gators right here on Sports Channel. Sweeping right side, it opens up for about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Buckhalter finally stopped by David Barnard, but he looked like about 6 or 7 yards. Now they'll mark it back closer to the 21-yard line. Buckhalter, pretty good solid north and south back. He doesn't make too many people miss, but he just goes after the open spot.
Well, and this is a no-nonsense offense, too. They try and dominate you at the point of attack. That's what they want to do with their running game. Now they're forced into a shotgun here as they trail 21-3.
Over the middle, complete to Montgomery, and he'll be dropped at about the 29-yard line. Still enough yardage for a first down. Michael Gilmore on the coverage for the Gators, but you mentioned only 1 3 and out. The Golden Eagles have moved the ball a little bit each time they've had a chance.
And that's one of the keys in beating the Florida Gators, is to keep that explosive fun and gun offense on the bench. Maybe you're not successful every time getting points yourself, but you are successful keeping the Gators from getting into the big numbers on offense.
Gators show blitz. They're not blitzing. There's Buckhalter again, gets a good block on the corner and picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
Well, they continue to do a good job running the football on first down. Their Bates and Wright ultimately make the tackle, but like we said, this is a power running game right here, and right now they're doing a nice job. Actually, throughout this ball game, they've been doing a nice job of running the football on first down.
21-3, Florida leads, 8 minutes to go in the first half. Graham just below 50%, averaging less than 5 yards per attempt. Jumping around, and they say, well, they started to stop the play. This is a live play, and a juggling attempt is incomplete by Montgomery. No one else moved. The official on the far side, the side judge, started to stop the play and then changed his mind.
That's the second time this afternoon we've seen guys take a vacation when the ball's live, and you cannot do that. Obviously, you always go through with the play no matter what and let them call it back if they have to, but a lot of standing around on 2 occasions.
On the defense, penalize them 5 yards, repeat second down.
And it'll be second and less than a yard from the 38-yard line.
That was Larry Kennedy, I think, in coverage right there. Fortunately, Larry wasn't on vacation. He was following through with his assignment as everyone else was standing around.
Kevin Carter checks back in, and Mark Campbell checks out. Johnny Church lined up at the right defensive end on second and very short. Graham to Buckhalter, hit at the line and driven back, and depending on the spot, he might still have first down yardage. Matt Pearson, the first guy there for the Gators, joined by Ben Hanks and Johnny Church eventually, but he got a yard, and that should be enough for a first down. It is. So So Jeff Bauer has to be pleased with his team coming out there and moving the ball each chance they've had. There's Ellis Johnson, a little shaken up on the play, late getting up. Maybe his arm or his elbow or his shoulder, some upper left appendage. Hopefully nothing serious as Ellis is assisted off the field. Chris Patrick, the Gator trainer out there, might be at the wrist. He's holding the wrist now, his left wrist. So we'll get a report on that. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for Southern Mississippi.
That's not a picture you want to be looking at right there. Ellis Johnson truly outstanding throughout the '94 season. Hopefully he'll be back in this game. Now the Golden Eagles continue to do a nice job of mixing it up, even though they only have 3 points. One of the things they're not doing is getting points on the board, but they are moving the ball in the midfield area.
Gators blitzing. He throws it deep down the side. Kennedy lunges with Fred Brock. No one comes away with it. It's an incomplete pass as the Gators sent 7 guys after Heath Graham that time.
Beautiful effort there by Fred Brock, diving to make this catch. Heath Graham getting some pressure late, actually got hit as he released the ball. Oh, almost a super catch by Fred Brock. Larry Kennedy again in coverage.
Gators check Mike Harris into the game, and Lawrence Wright checks out. 2 nickel backers with 1 inside backer, James Bates, on 2nd down. Inside handoff. Shaw gets to the 40, still on his feet. Hit and dropped at the 43-yard line. Nice open field tackle, Larry Kennedy.
A lot of pressure on those cornerbacks, obviously, in coverage, but they also have to come up after they see that it's a running play and a draw like that. Larry Kennedy, if he doesn't come up and react as the play's being stretched out, if he doesn't fight off the block of the wide receiver there, number 89, Kendrick Lee, that tackle's not going to get made before he picks up the 1st down. But Kennedy hustles up there to make the play well short of the 1st down marker, and they're looking at 3rd and long.
3rd and 6, they have to get across the 49-yard line. Jones and Shaw, the back split. Out of the shotgun again for Heath Graham. Under pressure, he throws. It is caught by Montgomery, still on his feet. 1st down at the Florida 43.
Oh, a lot of courage by Mark Montgomery coming across the middle. Again, Montgomery is the leading receiver in this core of receivers for the Golden Eagles with 31 catches coming into this afternoon's ball game. He's the inside of the twin receivers right there. Gilmore with a big hit to the head, a clean hit. Safeties need to be intimidating. Gilmore tries to be right there, but he's not quite strong enough to knock down Mark Montgomery, who's 6'1".
Now McGee is in at tailback. Southern Miss with a good-looking drive going right now. McGee nowhere to run. Kevin Carter, the first of many on the play. The Golden Eagles have victories over Tulane, Memphis, Southwestern Louisiana, Samford, and last week beat Tulsa by 47-29 score. They lost to Virginia Tech by 10, Texas A&M by 24, East Carolina by 21, and played Alabama extremely tough, losing 14-6, although Alabama's offense scored just 1 of those 2 touchdowns. In fact, they outgained the Tide by about 150 yards on the day. Rolling left, Graham in trouble. Campbell can't get him. He throws incomplete. James Bates finally did hit Graham, but it was Mark Campbell who had the first shot. Let's go down to Steve.
Sprained. Thanks, Larry. The word on Ellis Johnson, a sprained left wrist. And Dr. Pete Delocado said that he was going to be able to tape it up and go back in. And as I look back in there on the defensive side of the ball, last play, Ellis Johnson was back in. That's one guy who likes to play and will get back in as quick as he can. So a sprained left wrist for Ellis Johnson, but not too serious.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Steve. Another 3rd down situation. Southern Miss has done pretty well on 3rd downs today. Big rush from Ellis. He just throws it away. The Gators still wonder what is intentional grounding, and again, no eligible receiver within about 12 or 15 yards.
Well, it seemed to be a breakdown at the interior. Let's watch No, the right guard gets nothing but air. Number 77, the big right guard, Rod Ollison, got nothing but air as he attempted to block Ellis Johnson right there. Ellis Johnson just too quick off the ball for him.
Chris Pierce will try to pin the Gators deep. Sorolla Palmer stands at the 10-yard line. Not a great rush. Big booming kick, however. Now one to land in the end zone. So Chris Pierce did not pin the Gators down. Florida will start at its own 20-yard line when we return to the Swamp. Homecoming Saturday in Gainesville. The Gators 21, Southern Miss 3. We'll be right back.
At Huggins and Open Tire, we know you've got a tough road ahead. But don't panic. We sell Kelly tires. When the going gets tough, get going to Huggins and Open Tire for complete tire service, brakes, alignment, and complete undercar service.
Blindfolded Dan is trying to guess what car we got here, which for you folks watching at home is the Eagle Talon.
This is dual airbags. These are leather trim seats. I feel a CD player, 300ZX.
Oh, keep trying, Dan. Dan is trying to identify this new sports coupe.
Toyota Supra.
From Chrysler's newest brand.
Forget Supra. I feel a Lexus SC 300.
It's an Eagle Talon, Dan.
Right. Okay, just give me a little
Test drive a Talon at your Jeep and Eagle dealer or call us.
It's WCW live and in your face at the Jacksonville Coliseum for WCW's Clash of the Champions. Wednesday, November 16th, 7:30 p.m. Presented by these fine sponsors. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Stunning Steve Austin lock up for the U.S. title. The flamboyant Johnny B. Bad battles the Honky Tonk Man for the TV title. And more. Tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster. Live and in your face, it's WCW.
Well, in a way, that's a break for the Gators since it's a false start. It's 1st and 15 instead of 2nd and 18. The Gators on offense. Last two drives have been impressive.
Quick, too, huh? Hey, you know, a couple of youngsters in the offensive line right now. Eric Johnson, number 77, in at left tackle. And right guard, we see Derek Walker, number 65.
Presser back to throw, steps up in the pocket, looking for the corner route. It's incomplete, trying to get it to Chris Doring. Good coverage offered there for Southern Mississippi by Patrick Surtain, listed as a backup quarterback. He's playing defensive back.
There you see big Eric Johnson, and he is big, number 77. Kressler showing a lot of poise there, Larry, even though there's a bit of beehive activity around him as he sets back in the pocket. He's coolly looking downfield.
Florida will go with 4 wide receivers on 2nd down and long. Southern Miss shows blitz with 7 men up in the box. And 6 of them are rushing. Kresser on the route. He's got Riedel. Riedel to the 40. Riedel looks for a block, gets one from a Golden Eagle. And he's out of bounds at the Southern Miss 47, but those 2 Eagles ran right into each other.
Oh, I thought Chris Doring was going to do a bowling alley type of action right here and knock down about 4 or 5 Golden Eagles like pins in a lane. Kresser does a beautiful job of reading the pressure and the post route on the blitz. Now watch Doring to the bottom of your screen. Doring gets 1, 2, going to get a piece of a 3rd. Oh, Kresser, we talked about his poise. That ball couldn't have been thrown any better right there on the post route.
Still 4:25 to go first half. There's a draw play. Elijah Williams fights down to the 43. He got 4 yards. Cedric Walthoff made the tackle for Southern Miss along with Quentin Jackson. Riedel Anthony, what a great game. 49.7 per catch.
I was going to say 50. Thanks a lot. Boy, you got a calculator over there, huh?
Well, when the producer tells you in your ear,
oh, okay,
do that math fast, I took it as a challenge.
All right. Well done. Impressive numbers, obviously, by the freshman wide receiver, Riedel Anthony.
Williams picks up the blitz. The pass to Ike Hilliard up to the 39. Just a 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and short. So So Eric Kresser came in through an 87-yard touchdown pass on the deflection and is at 2 out of 3 on this possession. As the Gators try to get their offense going, they're going to bring in double tight ends on 3rd down and 2. And they better hurry. 12 seconds on the play clock. They're still in the huddle. Now 5 seconds. There you see it counting down. The crowd oohing and eyeing. They get the play off. And it might have been better to take the delay of game. When you rush, bad things happen, and that's what just happened there for the Gators.
No, I think we set a visor record right there. The visor usually goes straight into the ground. That time it went vertically about 15 yards. You see Coach Spurrier in the orange shirt today. Now he's going to go seek the visor. He gets it handed back to him by one of the youngsters on the sideline.
Doesn't that guy realize that alligators eat birds for hors d'oeuvres? Gators will go for it on 4th down and a long 3. At about the 41-yard line with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Kresser looking deep. Chris Doering all alone.
Now the Gators not bashful about going deep on 3rd and 4th and short. Excuse me. It looks like the coverage is blown, though, Larry, in the secondary. There's no safety, no one in center field. Kresser, the safeties are way up towards the line of scrimmage on the 4th and short, and they did not have the depth to get back and cover Doering on the deep post route. And was that ball ever beautifully laid out there?
Looked like Ike Hilliard ran a deep crossing route, and both safeties rolled up on Hilliard, and that left the middle all alone for Doering. 4 for 4 extra points for Judd Davis. He has tied the school record with 62 consecutive conversions, and he has also tied the school record with 110 extra points in his Florida career. Chris Doering getting the touchdown, his 6th of the season. So the Florida Gators have taken control of this football game, although if you think about it, Jim, it doesn't seem like Florida has dominated today. Southern Miss has had a lot of success, but they've not converted any of their success into points.
Yeah, they have moved the ball in the midfield area. They've got some decent numbers on offense, but when the Gators are on the field offensively, they're making things happen, and the Gator defense is denying Southern Mississippi anything once the Eagles get inside the Gators' 30-yard line.
The Southeastern Conference Eastern Division Championship will be on the line next Saturday. We hope you'll join us at 11:30 for all the action as the Gators host the Gamecocks of the University of South Carolina right here in Gainesville. Catch all the action on Sports Channel. Check your local listings for Sports Channel and Gator Vision coverage in your area. The Gators win their SEC East champs again, and they will be headed to the conference title game in Atlanta. Deep kickoff. Buckhalter takes it at the 1-yard line. Up the left sideline, he splits the defense. One man left. Weary forces him into traffic where a host of Gators make the tackle. But Southern Miss with an excellent kick return, a 45-yarder for Chris Buckhalter, and that gives the Golden Eagles field position at the 43. Well, let's see. One guy marks it at the 43, another at the 45. It will be the 45.
Now, this is the area of the field where the Golden Eagles have been able to move the ball. Between the 30s, they're moving the ball, it seems. But let's see if anything changes for them on this possession. The Gator defense has just continued to deny the Golden Eagles any points with the exception of the 1 field goal.
See how they play. It's still 2:15 to go in the half. They run the option. Bad idea. Kevin Carter just punished Heath Graham.
And all Harold Shaw, number 14, could do is look in horror. He was the guy that was supposed to receive the pitch, and he just saw Heath Graham being swarmed over by big Kevin Carter and his teammates in the front 4.
It looks like Henry McMillan is shaken up, and he's holding on to his left knee. So 2 guys who came back from knee injuries, Jason Odom and Henry McMillan, are now both headed to the sidelines with re-injuries. Henry has, of course, played very well last week.
Well, that'll be the last you see of him today. With the score being 28-3, there's no need to have Henry back on the field, I'm sure, especially with that sore knee.
Of course, that Gator defensive line thinned out because Cameron Davis, for disciplinary reasons, not playing today. On second down, they throw it in the flat. He's got a man. That's Kennedy again, and he gets to about the 50-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 6. Clock running, 1:40 to go in the half. Southern Miss not appearing to be in a hurry to try to score despite this excellent field position.
Now, 1:30 on the clock here, and I think they want to obviously take their time and get at least perhaps the touchdown on this drive. Have to get the first down, obviously, first.
Under pressure, Graham hit by Carter, dropped for a big loss, and the Gators want timeout.
Well, Kevin Carter working against Cody Jones. You see the blocking effort made there by Jones, and Carter actually to the outside there. It was Brent Dugans, excuse me, number 68 was the tackle blocking right there.
We'll see if they split that sack or if they give it all to Campbell. Larry Kennedy got timeout from the back judge. It took the back judge 6 seconds to call time. The Gators trying to get some extra time put on the clock. I don't know if they're going to have any success with it, but Florida will have, after the punt, about 50 seconds and all 3 timeouts remaining. There's Sorolla Palmer out of Mandeville, Louisiana. Sorolla very steady on punt return for the Gators this year, averaging 11 per return. Number 11, Chris Pierce, the Southern Miss punter. And he's kicked a couple into the end zone, one from 53 yards and one from 43. So the officials blow the whistle. They want to get these teams back out there. Neither one of them. Florida called time and they're ready to go, and Southern Miss has to come play too. Gators will have 2 timeouts remaining, having used that first one on the sack. Gators with 8 men up on the line. Pretty good rush.
Oh, McCorkle. No.
Sam got close.
It looked like McCorkle, but it was Michael Gilmore, actually, Larry. They're about the same body style, but it was Michael Gilmore that got close there.
39-yard punt goes out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. And it'll be Kresser once again for the Florida offense. And let's see how the Gators make use of this time. 51 seconds and a couple of timeouts in college ball. That's enough time to move it, especially when you realize the Gators have had 2 scoring drives of 1 play each.
Tyrone Baker now on the field at tailback.
A really nice thing. Tyrone gave up number 22 a couple weeks ago, so Terry Jackson could have the same number that his brother and his dad wore at the University of Florida. Catch is made by Hilliard, who goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. 11-yard pickup, took up 7 seconds. Let's go down to the field and get an update from Steve.
Thanks, Larry. For Henry McMillan, a bruised knee, the knee that was injured, and Henry will be able to go back in, but you might wonder, the coaches might decide, hey, with the score weight it is in the second half, maybe we'll keep him out. But if he had to play, just the bruised knee, the one that he injured, he could go back in.
Well, that's good to see a guy get re-injured and then not be as bad as you fear. Kresser looking deep down the field. He throws for Doring, and it's incomplete. Doring fighting for the ball with that backup quarterback, Patrick Surtain. And it'll be 2nd and 10 with 43 seconds to go in the first half. 28-3 our score. The Gators kind of slow starting in this ball game. It was 7-3 before a blocked punt totally changed the complexion of the contest. And then an 87-yard bomb from Kresser to Riedel Anthony, assisted by the deflection of the strong safety Ratcliffe, kind of put the Gators in the driver's seat. Kresser looking. He's going to be caught from behind, and how did he hold on to the football? He was just wrestled from behind by Brian Burns,
also,
and somehow held on.
Quentin Jackson, also, I think, number 90. Kresser, we talked about his poise here. He almost has too much poise as he looks to his left, starts directing traffic right here. Lays that football behind him. It could have been ripped away, perhaps. Brian Burns gets the sack.
There you see the official attendance, 85,448. That's the most ever for a homecoming game. Well, that's a traditional time when a lot of people don't bother leaving the parking lot.
Well, let's see. Last week it was a record crowd in the state of Florida, I think, wasn't it? Ben Hill Griffin record crowd, and this time it's a homecoming record crowd, so the Gator faithful continue to show up and cheer this outstanding ball team on.
It's amazing to think that in the 6 home games, the smallest crowd this year was opening day, only 84,721.
Well, let's see if the Gators go conservative on 3rd and long with only 28 seconds left in the half, or do they continue to go deep?
I vote for B.
You think so, huh? I think you got the odds in your favor.
Well, first you look to see if how many wideouts are in there. Presser throwing. He's got Doring at midfield. Chris steps out of bounds with a Florida first down and 21 seconds left in the half.
Good vote by you, huh? Well, Coach Steve Spurrier has a lot of confidence in getting the ball deep to his wide receivers regardless of the situation, and obviously with a 28-3 lead, they're not worried about too much bad happening right there, so they continue to put the ball up.
Need about 20 to get in first down range, and Florida can get 3, maybe 4 plays in. Presser sits in the pocket, now rolls to the right, looking deep. He throws it in and out of the hands of Hilliard, who is very tightly covered over there by Rod Thomas, a sophomore from Ridgeland, Mississippi.
I tell you what, you can see why Eric Kresser's getting the reward of playing in the first half. You'll recall when he came in the game, it was not 28-3. This game was very much in doubt, and he's come through with some excellent poise and confidence, throwing the ball very accurately, directing traffic from his position in the pocket.
Now the time becomes much more difficult. Still 1 timeout remaining, 14 seconds, and they need quite a bit of yardage. There's Tyrone Baker. Baker to the 35-yard line, but he's kept in play. Clock stops on the first down with 5 seconds to go.
Well, do we try the field goal or throw it in the end zone? 5 seconds, so they almost certainly only have 1 play.
Gators are signaling for timeout from the bench, so they could try a quick hitch, but again, 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's cutting it close.
That's when you run a hitch and go. Say, what the heck?
Well, he's thinking about it. Do I send the guys to the end zone, or do I bring out Judd Davis? Boy, it'd be a long one for Judd, though, wouldn't it?
53-yarder from there, and that's quite a haul. The Gator head man now thinking about it. If you run a play, you have 2 choices. Like I said, a quick out to try to get a little closer or to throw deep, but Judd Davis has left the sideline, and the Gators are going to try a field goal of 50-plus.
I think the odds are obviously better having Judd Davis try the 53-yard field goal in terms of getting any points at all, rather than just throwing the ball up for grabs or going deep to the end zone right now.
Davis has not tried anything from 50-plus this year.
The wind is really kind of swirling in the stadium. I don't know that he has an advantage or disadvantage at all. It just seems to be swirling a little bit out there.
His career long, a 49-yarder against Auburn last year. This will be officially 52. He's got the distance. Yes! And for the second home game in the row, the Gators score on the final play of the first half. This time it's Judd Davis, who missed just a little wide on his last try, a career best 52-yarder for the senior from Ocala.
Listen very carefully for an important announcement. Has all the excitement gone out of your TV viewing? Too many channels? Too little time? What you need is something to help you with your viewing choices. And here it is. It's called the 700 Club Viewer Guide. And if you call 1-800-333-CLUB, we'll send you one absolutely free. It lists all the great features and guests coming to the 700 Club in November. Now, don't you feel better? That number again is 1-800-333-CLUB. Call now. Operators are standing by to take your call.
Now at Frank Griffin of Orange Park, the lease. 94 Jeep Wrangler SEs, fully equipped, now just $229 a month. The leased lease. 94 Jeep Grand Cherokees loaded with options including security group, leather interior, and more. Now just $329 a month. The leased lease. It's the lease we can do for you at Frank Griffin Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle, Wells Road near Orange Park Mall. Remember the name, Frank Griffin. If you buy a new Jeep or Eagle somewhere else, you'll pay more money.
A ruthless beauty.
You're a conceited, black-hearted varmint, Red Butler.
A fascinating stranger.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Destined for each other.
Lay your hands on me, you skunk!
Their passion binds them, but their passion blinds them. Will this fierce love last? Clark Gable, Vivian Lee, Gone with the Wind.
The original classic is back Monday night at 8.
Well, the field goal by Judd Davis makes it a 4-touchdown lead here at halftime in the Swamp. The homecoming game between the Gators and the Golden Eagles. Florida, which led just 7-3 with Southern Miss driving. But the Gators have taken control. 31-3 our score here at halftime.
And now a message from the University of Florida.
Here at the University of Florida, we've built a reputation as one of the nation's top research institutions. But the measure of a great university isn't just research, it's teaching too. That's why we're providing the incentive for good teachers to become even better. Through the Teaching Improvement Program, our best teachers, as chosen by their peers, are eligible for a $5,000 pay raise funded by the state legislature. It's a tangible way of saying that teaching is one of our most important jobs.
The number one obligation of any faculty member is teaching, because the university lives because of its students.
Oh, it makes the student more interested and makes the student want to put more time and effort into studying and learning and participating in class.
Our students deserve the very best instruction we can give them. The Teaching Improvement Program provides the extra financial support that rewards our best teachers. And it encourages all of our teachers to become the best they can be.
This message was brought to you by the University of Florida.
Joining us now at halftime is Dr. Warren Ross. Dr. Ross is the Chief Executive Officer for a newly formalized aspect of the University of Florida's health science system. And Dr. Ross, first of all, welcome to our telecast. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Larry.
Tell us about your role in the University of Florida Health Science Center.
Well, the healthcare market is changing, of course, and since we're such an important part of it for the state of Florida, we need to change as well. The health center over there represents a sizable investment for the state, and well over half of the close to $1 billion worth of dollars that flow through that place every year comes from the marketplace. So we needed a way of working with the market, coordinating our activities in the market in a single office, and so that we bring the activities of Shands Hospital, the various colleges, and the VA under one office.
Obviously, Shands is a statewide resource and draws patients from all over the state. Talk a little about how the Shands Hospital and all of the UF health science area serves the entire state of Florida.
Well, people don't realize, of course, that we have programs in Fort Lauderdale, Pensacola, Lake City, Leesburg. We're really a statewide resource for the state of Florida. In fact, we discharge patients from every county in the state every year. We're now projecting ourselves into new areas using technologies like telemedicine. We're opening clinics throughout the north part of Florida. We're trying to go where people find our services helpful.
Also, the Brain Institute is a perfect example of how the University of Florida is now viewed on a national scale. And how important is it to have a national reputation for the health science area?
Well, of course, what really characterizes our center is the application of new discoveries into the health care of the state of Florida. Every major form of transplantation has begun at the University of Florida as far as the state of Florida is concerned. The Brain Institute represents a giant step forward. It's a multi-million-dollar investment at the federal level, and it's brought in new dollars from a variety of other sources. So it's a good investment for the state of Florida.
Dr. Ross, thanks for joining us here at halftime.
Thank you.
Dr. Warren Ross, our guest at halftime. We'll be back with highlights and statistics after this timeout on Sports Channel.
For almost a century, the Florida-Georgia rivalry has been one of the best in the nation. Now fans can relive all the spectacular moments of this historic battle in the exciting new video, Border War, the legendary battles of the Gators and the Dogs. Call this toll-free number now to be part of this great rivalry through action-packed highlights and inside interviews. See some of the greatest players in college football history. Get the inside scoop from the legendary coaches in the series. And see all the incredible plays that will live on forever. Call now to order your copy of Border War, the legendary battle of the Gators and the Dogs for just $19.95 at 1-800-539-1117. Order your copy of Border War today. That's 1-800-539-1117.
Football fans, get ready for Sports Illustrated's exclusive NFL Team Kickoff Kit. Free with your paid subscription to SI. Just tell us your favorite team.
Cowboys! Packers! 49ers!
And we'll give you more than ever before.
This is incredible! I love it!
Your Team Kickoff Kit starts with your official 1994 team video.
Free Cowboys video? Free Browns video?
If I got a free Giants video, I'll be the luckiest man in the world.
Oh, man! Where can I get it?
It's an inside look at your favorite team. Brought to you as only Sports Illustrated can.
And ain't no surprise!
Your Team Kickoff Kit also brings you this authentic NFL team cap free. It's an unbelievable football package that no real fan can be without. Call now. Use your credit card. And you'll get 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. And your incredible Team Kickoff Kit is free. Nobody gets you into football like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Well, it's halftime here in the swamp with the Florida Gators at homecoming, trying to take care of business with Southern Mississippi. And right now it's 31-3 at the half. Welcome to our halftime. Jim, for this Florida football team, not unusual for homecoming, a little slow-paced early in this half, but they picked it up.
Well, I think the surprise is the Eric Kresser-led fun and gun offense. He got 17 points leading the team in the second quarter. Danny Wuerffel got 14 points, but the game did start slowly, and we weren't sure the Gators would pile up 31 points in the first half, but that's exactly what they've done.
Well, we've debated Wuerffel and Dean, and maybe now it's Wuerffel, Dean, and Kresser, three quarterbacks who've proven they can play at the University of Florida. Let's take a look at some of our first half highlights, and we start off with Danny Wuerffel in the ball game.
Well, they thought the whistle had blown here as one of the Golden Eagle defenders had jumped off sides, but everyone seemed to freeze except Aubrey Hill, and he went through with his post route. Wuerffel did a nice job of simply lofting the ball in there.
Southern Miss came back from that to get a field goal, and they were punting with the score 7-3.
Sam McCorkle from the left of your screen is unblocked. A breakdown up front by the Golden Eagles. McCorkle makes the block, and
number 13, Mike Harris.
Mike Harris ultimately comes up with the recovery on about the 1-yard line, giving the offense a great opportunity.
The Gators leading 14-3 after Fred Taylor ran it in from 3 yards out. Eric Kresser enters the game, and it doesn't take him long to make his mark.
Well, and all the folks in the stadium believe Kresser's made a mistake here as he's throwing into double coverage, but the ball is tipped off the hands of number 30, Melvin Ratcliffe, and into the hands of Riedel Anthony, and he celebrates early with the, 87-yard touchdown bomb.
The 87-yarder made it 21-3. Riedel celebrates with the Gator fans, and then Kresser again looks deep.
Yeah, Kresser really on target throughout the second quarter and does a beautiful job here of hitting Chris Doring. The safeties were caught up on the fourth down and short situation. Doring surprises them by running deep on the post, and the ball was perfectly thrown.
And Judd Davis finished off the first half scoring with a career-best 52-yard field goal. So the Gators in control at 31-3. And as we check the first half stats, early on it was very close, but the second quarter was all Gators.
Certainly was, as you see the Gators with 288 yards passing, only 31 rushing. I think they're disappointed in that. We might look at the Gators come back and give the ball to the tailback a little more often, but 319 yards in one half, truly outstanding.
And two
when
penalties.
all is said and done.
2 penalties, Jim. The Gators usually have 2 penalties during the national anthem.
Won't be leading the conference anymore. What's going on? And as we look at the Golden Eagles, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, 137 yards. Really, they did an outstanding job in the first quarter. Things they were hanging in there, but ultimately the Gators just overpowered them.
Florida Gators taking control of the football game in the second quarter. They have a 31-3 lead as we head to the third quarter of action, homecoming in Gainesville. The third quarter will begin when we return here on Sports Channel.
special notice to North Florida and South Georgia car buyers. Before you make a decision to buy a car, any car, truck, or van, stop! You must come to the Phillips Highway 10 sale in Jacksonville. 1 weekend only. Hundreds of closeout 94 Fords at savings up to $5,000. Financing as low as 1%, up to $1,500 cash back. This is the end of year 10 event you've been waiting for. Phillips Highway, just south of the Avenues Mall, through Monday.
Experience the excitement of sailing the open sea aboard the Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. For a limited time, you can ride for half price. Just bring a new unwrapped toy to the ticket window and receive a ticket for half price. Enjoy delicious dining, a scenic cruise, shipboard activities, and entertainment. Our cruise is a perfect day or evening getaway. The Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. That you'll have fun. For a free brochure or to make reservations, call today.
Bring in the fall nights with the ultimate in hydrotherapy and relaxation with a Jacuzzi Whirlpool Spa from Fans and Spas. Jacuzzi, the inventor and originator of the portable Whirlpool Spa, is in stock and on sale only at Fans and Spas. Save up to $1,500 on the biggest sale ever. So if you've ever thought about a jacuzzi, now's the time with spas to fit every budget from $995. Fans and Spas at 10033 San Jose Boulevard, Mandarin, 1 mile north of 295. With over 20 models on display. Fans and Spas since 1981.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Dairy Farmers Incorporated. Milk, it does a body good. By Great Southern Wood, makers of Osmos pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't say Osmos on the little yellow tag, believe me, you don't want it. By First Union and the First Union check card. It's the card that works like a check. And by Bryan Foods, the flavor of the South.
Eric Kresser loosening up on the sideline for the Florida Gators. The Gators will not have the ball to start the second half, so who will it be? Will it be Kresser? Will it be Wuerffel? Will it be Dean? We'll find out on Florida's opening possession here in the second half. Let's go down to the field and get an update from Steve Babbitt.
Talking to Coach Spurrier going off the field of the first half, he mentioned that Eric Kresser was fortunate with some of his throws, accurate with some of his throws, and I think most of all, he felt that Eric took advantage of his time in there to make some good plays. So I think Eric Kresser scored some good points with the head coach in that area. But Coach Spurrier was quick to point out to me now, we'll see what happens, but he said, we're going to start Danny Wuerffel in the second half when the Gators get the ball, and that'll be after a first series that Southern Miss has the ball. So look for Danny Wuerffel to start the second half.
Steve, you spoiled the suspense.
Inside information. He talked to the coach.
Yeah, what's he think he's doing reporting as a reporter? Oh, well, so it will be Danny Wuerffel. We may see, again, all three during the second half. 31-3, the Florida Gators on top, and the Gator offense got the big break on that block punt for an easy touchdown, 3 good drives. Look at the numbers for Eric Kresser, 214 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Riedel Anthony, already a career best, 149 receiving. And Montgomery, I tell you, that's a good-looking receiver. That guy knows how to get open.
Well, he comes in with 31 catches into today's battle. He's the #1 go-to guy of the Golden Eagle wide receiver corps. Heath Graham showing a lot of poise, too, and he continues to be under pressure. You know, one of the advantages the Gators had over Georgia last week was the pressures they were able to put on Eric Zeier, the batted balls, the coverage in the secondary, and that Gator defense really continues to do the same here this afternoon. An improving Gator defense that we're seeing here in the '94 season.
Kevin Carter with, I think, 1.5 sacks. Well, usually don't know until they grade the game film exactly how many sacks will go onto the stat sheet, but Kevin putting good pressure on from the outside. Gators have had a couple of minor injuries or re-injuries, Jason Odom and Henry McMillan, and our guess is that they will not play in the second half, although they could if this was a tight nail-biter type of ball game with SEC ramifications. But up 31-3, we do not expect to see them back in there. Buckhalter fields the kick at the 3-yard line, and he runs in and gets upended by Shea Showers.
All right, Shea was out with an injury as well earlier, his elbow, but he was fearless right there as he makes the tackle. Nice to see him back in action.
And Heath Graham, the freshman from Stringer, Mississippi, comes on to lead the Southern Miss offense. Graham's best game this year came against Alabama. He threw for 267 yards against that Crimson Tide.
Actually, that was his first start, and I think it was their 6th game of the year. So this young man really got a battlefield promotion here in '94 and has done very well the last couple of weeks.
Let's see how much they open it up in the second half. Up the middle, it's Ellis Johnson, Kevin Carter, and some buddies making a stop for a loss, or just a slight loss. They'll mark him up to the 19, so maybe no gain.
You'll recall that Southern Mississippi has not scored less than 40 points in their last 3 games. You know, they had some big point production against Southwest Louisiana, Samford, and Tulsa, but of course playing against the Florida Gators, one of the top teams in the country, their offense has not been able to get much done.
So it'll be second down. Ball just shy of the 19-yard line. See the split backs out of the shotgun. Graham throws. He's got his tight end and wrapped up. Scott Harper, he only picked up maybe 3 yards. Good coverage from the inside backers of the Gators. Kevin Freeman there, helped out by Gilmore. Let's go back to Steve.
Well, Larry, you mentioned about Jason Odom and Henry McMillan. Both of those guys are done. They will sit out the second half. Again, Henry just bumped that knee that was hurt and just re-aggravated it. Jason, a little more of a twist and a slight sprain on that same knee that he had injured. And both not too serious, but to play it safe, they will be out the second half.
All right, I got to beat you on that one at least.
Yeah, I was more concerned about Jason Odom. It looked that he was in a lot more pain, and it's nice to hear it might not be too severe.
Third down for Southern Miss. They've got to get almost to the 29-yard line. They throw it complete short of the first down, making the catch Ryan Peterson. But Larry Kennedy locked up on him and drove him back from the 27. It'll bring up fourth down.
Also James Bates over there in coverage, and that quick hard tackle denies the Golden Eagles the first down. And I don't think they have any choice but to punt the ball away. You see the quick hit by Kennedy. You see Bates breaking on the ball too. And the Gators force the Golden Eagles to 3 plays and a punt.
Gators with 7 men on the line of scrimmage for this punt from Chris Pierce. And finally, yes, a delay of game was the call, and it was. They're trying to get the Gators to jump, and waited as long as they could, and then they waited a second longer, and it'll be 5 yards.
Delay of game against the offense. Repeat fourth down.
Of course, now the only thing that makes that significant, should the Gators run into the kicker, the 5-yard penalty would not give a first down. It might make Florida a little more aggressive rushing than they would have been otherwise. In fact, the Gators now have 8 men on the line instead of 7. Under pressure, he gets it away. Kedra Malone was bearing down on him. Fair catch signaled for, but that thing bounces into the stands.
He sliced it
at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it sliced off the side of his foot and went out of bounds just inside the midfield marker.
Well, that's an official shank for Chris Pierce, and the Gators, now they move it back to the 49 of Southern Miss, but that's where Florida will go on offense for the first time here in the second half, leading by a score of 31-3. Danny Werfel, 5 out of 9, 74 yards, got himself sacked as well during the first half of this ball game.
Hey, there's a guy out there wearing number 1 right now. Hey, who is that guy?
I believe Mr. Jackson has done his penance and is back in the lineup for the Florida Gators. Hey folks, we have SF Sports. That is the South Florida sports magazine. If you want to know more about Gator football, about Terry Dean, Ben Hanks, about Heisman Trophy winning coach Steve Spurrier, and much more, then SF Sports is where you'll find it. Subscribe now and receive profiles on the Gators in every issue. Call 1-800-4SF-FANS for all the South Florida sports you can handle. Some of the homecoming crowd here in Gainesville. Gators looking to go 7-1 on the year. Jack Jackson splits out to the left. Ike Hilliard to the right. Sean Nunn is in at one tight end spot and Braun at the other. You Elijah Williams, straight ahead blast, keeps his balance and surges to the 39, and that should be enough for a first down.
We've seen both these young tailbacks in the '94 season keep their balance by putting that arm down. Excellent effort. Coach John Reeves working with these kids. This is a drill they work on every day in practice just in case they lose their balance, but obviously takes tremendous athletic ability to pull it off.
Williams has been Florida's busiest ball carrier, and now we have a timeout called. Debating whether or not they should measure. I guess they marked Williams shy of the 39 after originally spotting it inside the 39. Okay, it's second down and less than a foot for the Gators, who will stay with double tight, 2 wide receivers. Elijah Williams lost a yard. He's dropped at the 40 by Quentin Jackson. James Robinson, a big junior out of Mobile, Alabama as well.
I think that running game continues to be a concern here most recently in the '94 season. The Gator fun and gun offense, well known for its balance of pass and run, but certainly I think as we've moved into the second half of the season, the Gators perhaps having more trouble running the football, and that has to concern Steve Spurrier.
Well, the Gators sent 3 guys in, 3 more came out, including the quarterback who called time. There's Big Johnny Church, the junior defensive end, checked in as a tight end for this third down and a yard to go. But we have a timeout on the field. Early in the third, 11:17 to go in the third quarter, and the Gator lead remains 28.
Who decided at what point that it was acceptable to fry a burger? This goes against millions of years of evolutionary instinct. I'm sorry, but burgers taste best cooked over an open flame. That's how the caveman did it. That's how Dad did it. That's how Burger King does it. I take the Whopper. Big hunk of beef cooked over actual fire for only 99 cents. Millions of years after the first burger, it's still only 99 cents. That's got to be pretty close to what it cost back then, right?
Burger King, get your burgers worth.
So, do you like good, clean fun? Or would you rather play dirty? You can do it all in the 2-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport. It has a 190 horsepower engine, optional 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, uniframe construction, and air at no extra charge. And with savings like this, Cherokee Sport doesn't play hard to get.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Well, there's Jason Odom on the Florida sideline. Re-injured that knee just a little bit. Hopefully, Jason will be full go for next week when the Gators take on South Carolina and try to wrap up the Eastern Division Championship. So Florida with a normal alignment now. 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers, backs in the eye. And a loss again, knifing in quickly. Quentin Jackson and the Gator run blocking fails to get the job done on consecutive plays. And let's see what the Gator head coach does from the 40-yard line.
Quentin Johnson was completely missed as he knifed in there to make the tackle. Coach Spurrier not hesitating to go for it. Look to the right of your screen. Yeah, just a miss by number 75, Donnie Young.
Well, Swain and Young both went for the inside linebacker, and Jackson just went in between them. Still only need about 4 feet on this 4th down play. The Gators have only missed once on 4th down this year. Werfel changes the play, gets it off. He's got Jack Jackson all alone. He throws instead to Aubrey Hill, who was also pretty lonesome.
Oh, they both were, weren't they? Jack Jackson initially was wide open from the get-go, and he continued to run wide open for about 12 yards, and we thought they might miss the opportunity. Jackson, the inside receiver, no one's there, no one's there, no one's there. Finally throws to Aubrey Hill, and they finally get over there. That's number 22, Eugene Hartman, finally showing up to make the tackle. That's almost unbelievable, wasn't it, that they were so uncovered?
Well, when you get beat deep twice back-to-back in that 3rd quarter, it appears to have made the safeties a little tentative for Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles blitz. The Gators pick it up. Werfel's looking deep down the middle for Hill. Touchdown! Second score of the day for Aubrey Hill.
The deeper the route was run, the more open he became. Aubrey Hill just separates himself from the coverage here, and Werfel lays the ball out there so Aubrey Hill can just simply run under it, and Aubrey Hill runs away from the coverage of number 18, Derek Hervey. You see the safeties up there biting on another Gator receiver, and the corner is left all by himself, and he's a couple of yards behind Aubrey Hill.
And Judd Davis makes the extra point. That gives him a school record 63 consecutive extra points and a school record 111 extra point kicks in his career. So Judd Davis adds to his records. Aubrey Hill's got his 17th Gator touchdown, and the Gators have a 5-touchdown lead. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Lombardi. By following the NCAA rules, you are not only adding to the integrity of Gator athletics, but you are also protecting the college careers of our student athletes. Remember, ask before you act.
Don't search the dial for sports news and scores. Take a pit stop with New Sport. Stay ahead of the game. The New Sport Score Box delivers continuous scores and finals. Looking for breaking news? New Sport goes live with press conference coverage. Find out what's hot at the top of the hour with the New Sport Update, a complete 2-minute wrap. And at 6 p.m. Eastern, New Sport Tonight previews the day. And beginning at 2 a.m. Eastern, New Sport Press Box recaps the night. New Sport. Sports news and scores all the time.
Hi, I'm Ann Liguori, host of Sports Interview, the show that brings you in the living rooms of some of your favorite sports personalities. We're controversial at times.
You know, I picked him as the #1 center of all time as far as concerned because he was a complete basketball player.
Personal at times.
But you want that because you can't. We're talking about TV. We're talking about
This is
making
why we have
money.
a great marriage. We never agree on anything, but we know that from the start.
But we always learn a lot and have a great time doing it. So join me each week on Sports Interview.
Aubrey Hill on the right. There's Jack Jackson in his first series, his first playing time of the day. Jack closing in on the record book. There you see, needs 1 to establish himself alone on the Gator list, needs 6 to become the all-time leader in SEC history. On the return, breaking it to the outside and then getting tackled. I think we're going to have holding on the blocker on that outside. Kendrick Lee was on the return, but it appeared he had a blocker with a fistful of Gator over there around the 26 or 28-yard line. Robert Rougeau will give us the call.
We have a 5-yard incidental face mask against the kicking team. First down.
Wrong, Karnak Breath.
Oh, well.
You know, we were talking about the Gators with only 2 penalties in the first half. We almost got lulled to sleep there, didn't we? Thinking it couldn't have been on the Gators.
There's the Gator drive, a 49-yarder. Werfel with the touchdown pass to Hill and a big completion to Aubrey as well on 4th down. Harold Shaw, the lone running back. Graham throws. He's got his man Montgomery at the 45 and up to midfield. Fred Weary on the coverage for the Gators at that left corner spot.
Yeah, Fred, a little soft there in that area. Not able to make the tackle until the receiver easily picks up the first down. Fred Weary forced into action, you'll recall, when Larry Kennedy went down with an injury and really had done a nice job pinch hitting for Kennedy, and have a lot of confidence in Fred Weary.
Gators in their base defense. Southern Miss not a team that likes to throw every down, but may need to from now on. Graham gets rid of it. It's a little behind Ryan Pearson, who couldn't pull it in at about the Gator 40.
Darren Hambrick and Anthony Lott in good coverage. You're absolutely right. Again, we recall the philosophy that the Golden Eagles came in here with. They were going to run first and pass second. Now they're going to pass first, second, third, I think, if they have any hopes of getting some points on the board.
James Bates checks in for the Gators. Ben Hanks moves from nickelbacker to inside, and Darren Hambrick will be the nickelbacker. Michael Harris also in at strong safety on second and long. They'll run straight ahead. Spinning off one hit, Harold Shaw gets about 2.5 yards. Hanks makes the stop.
Now that's one of the subtle defensive changes the Gators made to face the Georgia Bulldogs. They move Hanks into an inside linebacker, take one of the big, stronger inside linebackers out. Hanks traditionally an outside linebacker, and then they bring in Darren Hambrick to play the outside position that Hanks normally plays.
Let's get another update from Steve down on the field.
Heath Graham, the freshman quarterback for Southern Miss, may not be having the greatest game right now, but coming in, a lot of the Southern Miss people said that he reminded them of Brett Favre, the great quarterback now for the Green Bay Packers. And you know the kind of career that Brett Favre had with Southern Miss. So if he should be fortunate enough to have that kind of career for Southern Miss, they'll be awfully happy.
Anthony Lott intercepts the pass of Graham, and the Gators get the ball in Southern Miss territory.
Very difficult situation there for Heath Graham as he's sprinting left. Under pressure, throws the ball. Trying to get the ball out there. You see me kind of short-armed that one a little bit. Anthony Lott easily steps in front of the wide receiver, Mark Montgomery, to make the interception. Of course, Brett Favre has had his problems with interceptions in Green Bay, too, so...
There is a resemblance.
Sometimes.
The Gators call timeout. They were not lined up properly with 8 seconds on the play clock. So Danny Werfel will head over to the Florida sideline. The ball marked at the 42. Anthony Lott with his second interception. Of course, his first one went 88 yards. He had one called back against Georgia last week due to a roughing the passer penalty. Florida Gators remaining action will be all right here on Sports Channel. We've got South Carolina at home next week, then at Vanderbilt, and the season finale at Florida State.
Let's see how many turnovers now for the defense. There's an interception. We had a fumble recovery earlier. We had a block punt on the specialty teams. What did the Gators have at halftime there, Larry?
2 turnovers and a block. Well, now it's 2 turnovers and a block kick.
So this was the second, huh? Well, that trend hopefully will continue. You will recall all the records that were set by this defense last week against Georgia, and that's one of the elements that was really missing from this defensive unit, the inability to get the ball from the other guy, and most recently that defense is doing a great job of that.
From the 42, it's first down. Werfel checking off, expecting a blitz. Gets a bit of one. Out in the flat, there's Jack Jackson. Jack's inside the 30. Spun around and dropped at about the 29-yard line. L.T. Gully makes the stop, but Jackson has a Florida first down, and the Gator crowd responds.
Yeah, they're responding to the first down, but more importantly, they're responding to Jack Jackson, the leader, the junior leader of this wide receiver corps. Jackson truly outstanding on a national basis, one of the most outstanding receivers in the country.
From the 29, Werfel looks over the middle. Jackson there again. 20 more yards and another first down.
Looked like Danny Werfel looked off to the right side there. I don't think that Jackson was the #1 primary receiver. I think he might have been the second alternate receiver. Werfel looks to his right, and Jackson is on the left side of the formation, running the post route just underneath the safety. The ball's beautifully thrown by Danny Werfel. Finally, it's number 29, L.T. Gully, getting over there to make the hit.
2 catches for 33 yards for Jack Jackson. It's first and goal at the 8. And we'll see if Jack can get that school record 25th touchdown reception. Taylor on the sweep. They run a reverse. Doring passes to Werfel. Werfel's going to be hit, still on his feet. Werfel will be thrown out of bounds at the 5. Well, a little razzling-dazzling here. That's a pass Florida used against Vandy last year for a touchdown.
Handoff to the tailback. Reverse to Doring. Taylor to Doring to Werfel. And, oh, nice effort by number 3. Lee Roberts gets up there, or Rod Thomas, excuse me, gets up there and spoils everything.
On 2nd and goal, Florida has 3 wide receivers. Jackson with man coverage on the right side. Fred Taylor to the 2. Fred Taylor did not get in.
Oh, very close. You can see Taylor has that great instinct, that nose for the end zone right there, and he almost got it in, running off the left side behind Golden. And we got Anthony Ingracia now in at left tackle for Jason Odom, behind Ingracia and Golden right there. That effort was.
Gators with triple tight end. Johnny Church, Chris Braun, and Sean Nunn all in the lineup. Bilkey, the blocking back for the tailback, Taylor. Or might Bilkey get it? Some fans are chanting Bilkey. Instead, they get Danny Werfel. Touchdown. Deke Adams taking some exception to the Florida linemen trying to pull him off their quarterback.
Yeah, they were bending Werfel back, and some of the guys came to his rescue, and a bit of an altercation takes place. Oh, Werfel's got the habit of putting that ball out in front of him. You'll recall he did that a number of times last year. There you see number 49 pushing and shoving Deke Adams, and some of the big linemen said, nope, Deke, you can't do that one.
Now the referee has got the teams together and say, play nice, fellas. And the Gators will try the extra point to make it 45. Florida Gators last year set a Southeastern Conference record in scoring, and they are ahead of that pace this year. $472 points last year for the Gators. Judd Davis with another extra point adds to his career record, and we've got timeout at the Swamp. 6:36. The Gators.
Huggins and Othan knows trucks. Huggins and Othan knows cars. Huggins and Othan knows Jacksonville's mud, asphalt, back roads, and open highways, which is why Huggins and Othan knows Kelly Tires. They've got Kelly's to fit every family car, sports car, pickup, or van, on or off the road. Now you know, too. Next time you need tires, brakes, alignment, or undercar service, drop by Huggins and Othan Tires.
Hello, I'm Dick Stratton for Budget Office Interiors. If you're in the market for quality office furniture, why should you order from a catalog and then have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for delivery?
Because of a huge inventory representing over 50 different manufacturers, we have what you're looking for already on hand, and in many cases, we can deliver it the next day.
Convenience, quality, and price. It's all here at Budget Office Interiors, 3030 Powers Avenue, near the intersection of University Boulevard and Phillips Highway on the south side.
It's 7-3. Southern Miss had the ball, but a blocked punt changed momentum, and the Gators have controlled things ever since. Fred Brock, number 7, back at the goal line as Shane Edge kicks off for Florida. It'll be a low line drive fielded at the 10 by Harold Shaw. Shaw gets a seam across the 30. Edge is there, and he does trip him up at the 44-yard line. Loose ball. It appeared the official was not blowing it down. I think Southern Miss ended up with it anyway at the 44.
Yeah, he was indicating that was a live ball. It wasn't caused by contact with the ground after all. Looked like it was initially. Nice job by Harold Shaw there, but Edge. Oh, it looks like the ground did cause the fumble. What's the official indicating there?
That's good thinking, except that is illegal. You can get penalized for batting a loose ball.
Yeah,
but it should have been down anyway.
But it's better to get penalized than giving the ball to the other guy.
This is true. On On the sweep, McGee nowhere to go. He's buried.
Oh, I hope we have a chance to see this again. Kevin Carter gets upfield. He's so strong. He gets leverage underneath the blocking attempt of the big tackle. Just carries the tackle into the backfield and is there to meet the ball carrier as he comes right to him. Kevin Carter with at the right of your screen. You're going to see Kevin Carter way upfield. Look at the pushing and the shoving and the pushing, and says, thank you very much. I'll make the tackle right here.
Almost back to the 41-yard line. Carter's had a good game again for the Gators today. He's been so consistent for Florida this season. Graham in the flat. McGee drops it. He had a welcoming committee waiting for him by the name of Kevin Freeman, and he looked up and didn't hold on to the football. Third down, flag on the play.
There's no foul. No foul.
No foul. They just threw the flag for the heck of it. Actually, what may have happened, since the pass didn't cross the line of scrimmage, it might have been an ineligible man downfield, but the pass doesn't cross the line. That's not a violation.
Now, the Golden Eagles just having no success at all here in the second half on offense. They, again, had some moderate success moving the ball, at least in the first half, but they're really being shut down completely here in the third quarter by the Gator defense.
They'll run on 3rd and 13, and they'll get about 8 or 9 up near midfield before Darren Hambrick makes the tackle on Howard McGee, and bring about a 4th down play for Southern Miss. The Gator defense.
Looks like they're going for it too, Larry. They're not going to punt.
Are they really?
Yeah.
They checked in a couple of receivers on 4th and 4 from midfield. Sure, Jeff Bauer's saying, why not? 38 or 45-3 now the score. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. And that gets the Gator fans excited. No matter what the score, a 4th down play is always fun. Grant throws in the flat, and it is caught for a first down at the 45-yard line. Weary locked up on Montgomery, but not soon enough.
Well, great job by Montgomery. He just simply hooked up beyond the down marker. Also, Heath Graham getting the ball there quickly enough before the coverage. Weary was able to close on him. Fred Weary, that's a bit of a learning process for him right there. He needs to perhaps press the wide receiver a little bit closer. But that's how you learn. You get out there and play the position. And it's nice to learn when you're ahead 45-3.
Absolutely. Graham again finds his man. That's Brock inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Well, Fred Weary, looks like Larry Kennedy's coming in right now. I don't know if they're going to make a change and talk to Weary a little bit. I think the coach is going to tell him to settle down a little bit and just think a little bit more about his responsibilities right there.
Dave Barnard checks back in for Florida. Keith Council playing that right tackle spot. Good playing time for Council in this ball game, and I'm sure we'll see some other guys like Mike Moten, defensive end. From the 28. Big blitz. They don't get there. Graham gets it away. It is caught, and stepping out of bounds, Montgomery at about the 19-yard line. Larry Kennedy almost got a hand on it, but not quite.
Now, Larry Kennedy has an excellent break on the ball, but the ball was perfectly thrown. Heath Graham put it exactly where he had to, just beyond the reach of Larry Kennedy, who's got good coverage. Kennedy again coming in for Fred Weary right there, but this Mark Montgomery, obviously a lot of talent in that wide receiver there. He's a senior, having an excellent 94 season, and Heath Graham, the freshman, doing a nice job here on this series.
Graham looking deep for the corner, and that's overthrown and incomplete. Mentioned Montgomery, 7 catches for 70 yards, Jim.
Well, they're looking right at him right now, aren't they? Going to Montgomery almost exclusively. He's the well, that's not Montgomery. That's Fred Brock. It looked like 87, but it was only number 7, Fred Brock, that time. trying to get him to the corner right there. Again, Larry Kennedy in coverage.
Bradley Hamilton in at fullback on 3rd and short. There's Shaw. Nifty little head and shoulder fake. Might have gotten him close to that first down marker. I think he'll still be a bit short.
Gators were blitzing the inside linebackers, including outside linebacker Darren Hambrick, trying to really force the issue at the line of scrimmage on that 3rd and short, and they are coming up maybe a little less than a yard to go.
It'll be the second 4th down attempt for Southern Miss on this possession. 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Gators with a big lead, 45-3. They also want to keep that score at 3, and we're going to have time called. Only 11 on the play clock when the Golden Eagles broke huddle, so quarterback Heath Graham just signals timeout and will head over to the sideline to talk with his coach. Jim, let's look ahead a little bit. South Carolina, kind of an up-and-down team this year. Next up for the Florida Gators, the Eastern Division title, really somewhat on the line. The Gators can clinch, South Carolina cannot, but that'll be a very important game to get back in conference wars next Saturday.
Well, you'll recall Brad Scott is now the head coach at South Carolina. Brad Scott was the offensive coordinator at Florida State for the last few years, had an outstanding career there as an assistant to Bobby Bowden. He took a couple of staff members from Florida State with him. Bobby Bowden's staff hadn't changed much over the last decade, but when Brad Scott went to South Carolina, he did take a couple of folks with him, so he's got that, the hopes are high in South Carolina for the Gamecocks now.
Wally Burnham is defensive coordinator. You also have John Eason at wide receiver. New sport, local sports, national scores. New sport programming coupled with Sports Channel Florida's in-state sports coverage gives you, the viewer, the most comprehensive, entertaining, and timely sports news and programming on a 24-hour basis. New Sport has all the fast-breaking scores, stories, highlights, and much more, and it's all exclusively on Sports Channel. Ball at the 19, it's 4th and less than a yard. Gator defense digs in. Mark Campbell is split way out to the right at the right defensive end. Inside handoff, nothing there for Shaw. He didn't even get close to the line of scrimmage, and the Gator offense takes over.
Well, just another indication of how that defense really tightens up when the other guy gets near their 20-yard line. Really, this afternoon, Southern Mississippi's had no success at all inside the Gator 30. This time they get near the 20 and get stopped. Johnny Church on the first hit, and we don't know what's the number of that Gator on the bottom.
Ben Hanks is on the bottom.
Was that Ben Hanks on the bottom? Hanks and
James Bates, Kevin Carter.
Yeah, they swarmed to that football, and as you mentioned, the tackle was made in the backfield.
Eric Kresser, 200 yards, obviously a career high for him. And he's back in the ball game after Werfel led a touchdown drive. Actually, a pair of drives here in the 3rd quarter. Tyrone Baker just ran right up the tail end of Jerome Evans and lost about 3.
Well, if there is, as we mentioned, one concern this afternoon, it's that the Gators are not running the football. For whatever reason, they're just not able to get the running game going, and as they face South Carolina and Vandy and Florida State, certainly that running game will have to be a big part of the offense again.
2 minutes, 10 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Kresser with time, looking for Aubrey Hill, and it's intercepted. Radcliffe, who dropped the other interception, holds on to this one, and Radcliffe changes direction and will lose about 4 on the return eventually. But it's a Florida turnover, and Southern Miss gets the ball back.
Just waited a bit too long to release the ball, and the safety had plenty of time to read the eyes of Kresser. Again, this is a learning process for Kresser. He looked and looked and looked and looked, and while he was doing that, so was Melvin Ratcliffe, reading the eyes of the quarterback, and simply got over there to make the pick.
No, Jim, that's a great point, because we mentioned a couple times how Danny Werfel would look right and then check left and throw. Eric Kresser stared a hole through Aubrey Hill's 8-2 that time. Ball at the 43 as Southern Miss goes to work offensively. 45-3 our score, inside 2 minutes to go.
So I guess that's Kresser's second interception of the season. He had one prior to today.
A little sideline warning on the far side to tell the Golden Eagles to get back where they belong. Eric Kresser now on the year, 4 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. First turnover of the day for the Gators. Big rush doesn't get there. The throw downfield picked off by Gilmore. Michael Gilmore up the sideline. Gilmore knocked out of bounds with a hard hit at the 46-yard line. Making the tackle for Southern Miss was Eric Brown, the fullback. There is a flag on the play at about the spot where Gilmore went out of bounds, but Gilmore registers his 4th interception of the year.
Michael Gilmore continues to shine at the free safety position. He simply is always where he's supposed to be, and that time the ball was laid up, too much air under it by Heath Graham. He didn't get any steam on the ball at all. Gilmore over there to make the interception. Tried to run the streak route down the sideline. Gilmore read it all the way.
Well, the flag is against the Gators, and it'll be Florida's first big penalty.
In the back, above the waist, on the return, against the Gators. First down.
Against the Gators. I haven't heard that before. Usually they say the blue team or the white team or the red team. Ball at the 35. Kresser still in the game. Jack Jackson splits near side. 2 receivers out to the wide side, including tight end Sean Nunn. Kresser looking down the middle, now swings it out to Elijah Williams. Eli cuts inside to midfield and is knocked down at the Southern Miss 48. That's a 17-yard gain.
We're going to take a look at Michael Gilmore's interception here. To the right of the screen, you're going to see the free safety get over there as the ball. It might have been tipped there by one of the on-rushing linemen. Gilmore over there to do a great job on the interception. Takes a big hit as he's knocked out of bounds.
Looked like Shea Showers might have gotten it if Michael Gilmore hadn't cut him off. From the 48. Kresser on the corner. Jack Jackson at the 25. Mark him out at the 26. It'll be a gain of 22.
Just over the hands of Rod Thomas, who was inside Jack Jackson, and just underneath Melvin Ratcliffe, number 30, who just had made the interception on the prior series. Look at the ball lofted just over the corner and underneath the safety. Beautifully done by Eric Kresser and Jack Jackson.
So the Gators now closing in on a 400-yard passing day. We still have 1:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Mobley now in at fullback in front of Elijah Williams. Kresser steps up again. He'll flip it up, and it's caught by Mobley at the 14-yard line. Did Kresser cross the line? He did not. The referee ran up to check. He did not cross the line of scrimmage, so that's a good play and about a 13-yard gain.
L.T. Gully in coverage right there. A lot of poise again by Kresser. Threatening to run the football, simply lofts it out, much like a basketball pass to Mobley. Mobley with the leaping grab, nicely done. Kresser really has the skill to put the easy touch on the ball, doesn't he?
Very talented passer. Rolling right, looking right, sends Jackson downfield. Jack didn't get going. Now he peels back and finds a man. That's Williams again, and that's a gain of 1.
Was he running in slow motion there, or is that my imagination?
I think I was talking in slow motion.
Kresser made that little 180-degree turn, and it looked like he was, you know.
I tell you,
watch this.
Everyone who taped this, Jim, is now adjusting the tracking on their VCR.
Whoa! Now this really is slow motion. They're telling us in the truck, but that looked like it took forever for him to get turned around. But hey, comes out okay.
That's 40 yards of running, a completion that covered, about 15, 18 yards in the air, and the net result is a gain of 1. Ball's at the 12, timeout called by Southern Miss. No timeout, the end of the quarter. They will sing "We Are the Boys in the Swamp." And we'll be back with the 4th quarter of homecoming in Gainesville after this timeout on Sports Channel.
When you buy a brand new truck, the last thing you want is to have it end up looking like a linebacker's helmet. That's why Chevy's new S-Series pickup comes with a special anti-chip finish. And to help you avoid unsportsmanlike contact, anti-lock brakes are standard. The S10 is not only loaded with value, it's the best-looking new truck on the road. Of course, if you'd like to make it look even better, you can always add a little detail work to the bumper. See the new S-Series today at your local Florida Chevrolet Geo dealers.
The Cellular One Digital Master Unit can be configured to transport the dedicated channel set into a specific area.
Cellular One engineers find this stuff fascinating.
Cell fiber
You probably don't.
receiver module.
You have a life to lead.
It can be connected in a simulcast mode.
All you want from us is consistent, reliable coverage. And you don't want to think about it.
As if the microphone
That's why we spend all our time thinking about it.
to both the sector and the MTSO. And isn't that what you've been looking for?
Call 1-800-IMAGINE.
Hi, Bertie. Hey, mind if I drop in for breakfast?
Yeah.
Great. Ah, yogurt. Healthy as all outdoors, huh? With trail mix. Looks delicious. Here, thanks. Great meal. Whoa! Could be my last. Yogurt. Good fast food from the makers of milk. Whoops. Hey, a celestial snack, huh? Milk. Healthy and delicious. Frozen berries and honey. Very light. Hey, it's a float. Get it? Is it something I said? Milk. Good fast food. Does body good.
Time to send for the federal government's free consumer information catalog from sunny Pueblo, Colorado. Billy has his, and boy, is he proud. Yes, you'll become smarter with information found in your free catalog. It lists free and low-cost publications on topics like saving money, getting federal benefits, staying fit, eating right, even educating your children. For your new catalog, send your name and address to Free Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. Makes a great gift.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. By Chevrolet and your local Chevrolet dealers. And by Cellular One, the first and only with digital phone service. Cellular One, you heard it here first.
Fourth quarter action begins here at the Swamp. Kevin Johnson now in at center for the Gators. Eric Johnson is the left tackle. Derek Walker in at left guard. Second and about 8. It's a long 8 from the 12-yard line. Presser looking in the end zone. He fires. Touchdown. Oh, he juggled it and couldn't hold on. He looked to get his feet down, and Jack lost the handle.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was trying to concentrate on staying in bounds and just took his eye off the ball at the last instant, but it was perfectly thrown. Seems to be right in the chest. Kresser getting all kinds of protection. Yeah, see, he was in the air, looked down to see where he might put his feet, and juggled the pass.
Florida Gators with their annual homecoming game. They've won 13 of the last 14 homecomings. Sorolla Palmer now in the game as the Gators go with 5 wide on 3rd down and long. Presser checks. There goes the play clock. Didn't get it off. That'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Looks like linebacker Eugene Harmon threw the flag right there. Number 22. He stood up and waved his hands before the official stepped in.
Delay of game against the offense. Repeat 3rd down.
This really doesn't hurt, though. All it does is give the wide receivers a little more room to work. I mean, it's not that critical. Certainly with this huge lead under these conditions.
There you see the passing. Kresser outdoing Werfel by more than 100 yards today.
Of course, they're getting more opportunities, too.
Kresser for the corner. In and out of the hands, Riedel Anthony. Very tight coverage by strong safety Roy Stabler.
I think Stabler got his hand in there to knock the ball away.
I believe the crowd booing for an interference call, but that looked like great coverage.
Riedel Anthony running the flag route to the corner of the end zone. Kresser looking at him all the way. Look at Kresser. He's zeroed in timing route. Yeah, he's not even looking. Oh,
the face mask.
Yeah, he didn't even look back at the ball.
Well, that explains why he took his eyes off the ball. Got his head pulled down. Judd Davis, 9 for 10 on the year. And the Gators pushed the score to 48 very early in this 4th quarter. We'll return to the Swamp The Florida Gators winning big.
I will discover a color.
I will be naked more.
I will be amphibious.
Find work as a fish.
Dance. Count waves.
Wear white cotton clothing.
See something beautiful.
I will memorize clouds.
Though meaningless.
Eat a mango.
I will put first things
I will
last.
build a castle on the ocean floor.
I will go explore.
I will get a really good tan. It's different out here. Norwegian Cruise Line.
During the past 14 years, Gator fans across the country have found that the best way to keep up with everything going on inside the Florida athletic program is by subscribing to GatorBait, a publication devoted to Gator sports coverage. Each weekly edition includes player features, game previews, locker room reports, and recruiting news. Now you can get 32 issues plus the Florida football and Florida basketball yearbooks. Just call our toll-free number to order your subscription. Make sure you really get inside Gator football. Subscribe to GatorBait today.
You build a winning tradition on great talent. And that's why we've recruited Brian to be the official hot dog of the Florida Gators. For over 60 years, they've built a winning tradition with the flavor of the South, that distinctive hickory smoke taste that makes them top dog around here. In fact, Brian is the only dog you'll find in the swamp, with the possible exception of an occasional bulldog. Brian, the official hot dog of the Florida Gators.
Well, it was 7-3 a long time ago. The Florida Gators have scored 41 unanswered points to have a commanding lead in this homecoming game with Southern Mississippi. A game that I really think, Jim, the Gators expected to be a tougher, closer football game.
And we were getting that in the first quarter, but they certainly exploded in the second quarter and throughout the second half.
Brock with a good return down the sideline. Edge can't get him. He stepped out. He stepped out at the 48-yard line. The Southern Miss bench politely disagrees with the call, but it'll be at the Gator 48-yard line, no touchdown.
Now that's a big disappointment for the Golden Eagles. They really thought they finally were able to get on the board here with a touchdown. But the official had no doubt about it as he called it as the...
Well, we'll get a good look now.
As Fred Brock runs down the sideline. Look at the sideline as he breaks to the outside. Is he going to do it, Fred? No, no, no. Yes. That right foot, I think. That right foot.
Just the heel. I mean, he wears a size 10. If he was wearing a size 9, I don't think he'd have been out of bounds.
9.5.
Gators get Eddie Lake into the game in there in the defensive backfield. Florida go with 5 DBs right now. Inside handoff. McGee gets a couple. He's caught from behind by Jason Bartley out of Jacksonville. Kevin Carter, Mark Campbell in at the defensive front along with Dave Barnard and Ellis Johnson. Caven Walton into the ball game, number 50, playing the inside linebacker spot. That kid's a good-looking athlete. As you see, Jason Bartley from Fletcher. Brother Ephesians Bartley, an outstanding player in that bandit back spot in the Gator defensive scheme of 90 and 91. Under pressure, the screen. He gets it to McGee with lots of blocking. McGee uses his blockers well, splits the defense, and gets down to the 23-yard line. Anthony Lott hung in there to make the tackle when it looked like McGee might be able to take it the distance. 22 on the play.
Yeah, beautifully executed screen right here as they invite the defense into the pocket. Dump the ball to McGee to the left side. Look at the swarm of white jerseys there to make the block in the open field. Number 54, Kenny Ray, doing a nice job there. Ray, the center, throwing the block in the open field. But now here they go again near the 20. What do the Gators do traditionally? They've stopped them.
They fake a reverse. He maybe should have gotten rid of it because McGee got dropped immediately by Mark Campbell. So that'll be a loss of about 4 on that fake reverse.
Well, it looks like history continues to repeat itself here. The Golden Eagles just can't seem to penetrate that 20-yard line. I don't know that they have they? I don't think they have been beyond the 20. On the last effort, they got very close to it, and on 4th down didn't make it. They did kick the field goal, but it was beyond that marker. They've not been inside the 20.
Maybe by the length of a football, but if so, that was it. You're right. Under pressure, down he goes. Ellis Johnson.
Ellis Johnson working on Cody Jones there. Cody Jones is a big 6'6" tackle. It looks like they're gaming. Yeah, he comes to the outside. The guard lets him go, and then he runs underneath the tackle. That really, the guard needed to help the tackle out a little bit more there. Jason Barlow, the guard, didn't help Cody Jones very much. And Ellis Johnson, another sack.
Back to the 34-yard line. So after that 22-yard pass play on the screen, they've gone backwards 11 yards on their last 2 plays. 3rd and very long. They set up a middle screen. It's a loose ball. They call it incomplete. Michael Harris was there on the coverage of Fred Brock, who started running before he brought it in. And it's 4th down, and let's see if the Eagles will try a field goal or take a shot at the end zone.
No, field goal would be over 50 yards, wouldn't it? I think they might take a shot at getting 1st down. What, it's about 20 yards to go, a little over about 20 yards or so.
They need about 21. They've got to get it all the way to the 13 or to the 18. The ball's on the 39. Gators will go with a 4-man rush. They drop everyone back in coverage quite a ways. Graham looking deep left side. He throws it. He's got a man. A catch is made at the 11 for a 1st down. As a whole bunch of cushion was given up. Shea Showers makes the stop, but that's a big gainer of about 23 yards.
Ryan Pearson, the wide receiver. Shea Showers, who's been out of action for quite a while this season with that elbow injury. Breaking on the ball, but just too late to get there as Pearson breaks to the sideline just beyond that 1st down marker. Nice execution by the Golden Eagle offense there.
Kevin Carter checks out of the game for Florida. Florida blitzes on the toss sweep. Trying to break it outside is Harold Shaw, but Darren Hambrick says, "You've got to be kidding me," and runs him down.
Hambrick responsible for that outside bounce of the running game right there. Bates blitzing from the inside. James Bates, number 44, filling a gap on the inside. Really important for Hambrick to stay home right there, and that's exactly what he did, and makes that tackle for hardly any gain at all.
11 minutes to go in this contest. The Gators leading 48-3, but they want to keep the Golden Eagles out of the end zone. From the shotgun, Gators jump around as if to blitz. Here they come. Delayed handoff, and there's nothing there. McGee barely gets back to the 11-yard line. Hambrick again.
Yeah, Larry, he was blitzing again, but he had the poise to keep an eyeball on the back. If the ball was going to be handed off on the draw, he was going to make the tackle. If it was going to be a fake draw, he was going to sack the quarterback. So Hambrick really running and blitzing with poise right there, making the tackle that needed to be made on the back who received the draw.
While on 3rd down, Kevin Carter checks back in. Mark Campbell checks out from the shotgun. Graham rolling in trouble. Bates hits him as he throws, and it's dropped. That was a touchdown right in the hands of Ryan Pearson, and he drops it. And it's 4th down.
Ryan Pearson found himself matched up with Gilmore and Lawrence Wright in the secondary right there. To the right of your screen. No, it's Larry Kennedy. Is it Kennedy? Yeah, Kennedy gets turned around a little bit. Safeties are over to help, but that ball was dropped.
So for the 2nd time on this possession, it's a 4th down for Southern Miss. As they try to get in the end zone, they scored 149 points in their last 3 games. They've scored 3 today. 4th and 10. Over the middle, tipped, incomplete. And a flag was down. That play was called. There's a flag in the corner. The officials were waving arms before the play was even over. maybe they didn't get the snap off.
There was no play. We have delay of game against the offense. 5-yard foul. Repeat, 4th down.
James Bates did a nice job in defensing his area on the field right there. That quickness that he shows at linebacker. Bates is going to drop back and get a piece of this football. Ellis Johnson tipped it a little bit. Bates hits it. I think that was Hambrick there breaking on the ball too.
Mike Harris tipped it. And it didn't count for anything.
That's a bruised football there, isn't it?
Yes, our director got a hand on it. One of our cameramen had a shot. On 4th down again, he throws for the corner. He's got a man. Touchdown. Donald Cunningham, a sophomore from Opelousas, Louisiana. And he was pretty wide open in the back corner of the end zone.
Larry Kennedy just couldn't stay with him there. Kennedy matched up in the corner. Donald Cunningham breaks to the corner. Kennedy's, he just trips there. He sees the ball coming. He thinks he's got help from the end line. You know, he thought he could break and knock the ball away before the guy got out of bounds, but he wasn't able to do it. When he tripped, the end line doesn't help him at all, and he can't help himself after he trips. Cunningham, the sophomore, comes up with a touchdown catch.
So the Golden Eagles penetrate the Gator goal line for the first time on a connection from Heath Graham to Donald Cunningham. The extra point is good, and with 9:53 to go in the homecoming game, it's now 48-10 Gators.
Your Southern Ford dealer, Mike Davidson's Discount Ford Mart, announces our year-end total removal sale. With our 95 Ford $12 million inventory slashed in price, as well as 132 new 94s discounted to save you thousands. They must be sold now, and to do that, we'll do whatever it takes. Financing as low as 2.9%, rebates as high as $1,500, discounts as big as $9,000. The monthly payments will be unbelievable.
Profit is no object.
At Mike Davidson's Discount Ford Mart, Atlantic, across from Regency Square.
It's WCW live and in your face at the Jacksonville Coliseum for WCW's Clash of the Champions. Wednesday, November 16th, 7:30 p.m. Presented by these fine sponsors. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Stunning Steve Austin lock up for the U.S. title. The flamboyant Johnny B. Bad battles the Honky Tonk Man for the TV title. And more. Tickets at the box office and Ticketmaster. Live and in your face, it's WCW.
Experience the excitement of sailing the open sea aboard the Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. For a limited time, you can ride for half price. Just bring a new unwrapped toy to the ticket window and receive a ticket for half price. Enjoy delicious dining, a scenic cruise, shipboard activities, and entertainment. Our cruise is a perfect day or evening getaway. The Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. That's you'll have fun. For a free brochure or to make reservations, call today.
Into it.
The Gators get set to return a kick for only the third time this afternoon. Southern Miss in the end zone, closing it to 48-10. Let's go down to the field and get an update from Steve.
Thanks, Larry. Just to update an injury report that I gave earlier on Anthony Riggins. I mentioned about he had the burner. Well, they kept reevaluating because he said it kept bothering him, and they upgraded to a partial sublex, and he's in street clothes. And that kind of affected the Gator defense in the way that Kevin Carter has spent a lot of time on the field because Cameron Davis not eligible for this game, a defensive end. He lost Riggins, a defensive end. So Johnny Church has been in there, but Kevin Carter's seen quite a few snaps because of lack of depth at that defensive end position.
Pilkey picks up the rolling kickoff and goes straight upfield to about the 36-yard line. A guy the Gators could turn to, we may see pretty soon into the ball game, is Mike Moulton, a redshirt freshman. 48-yard drive, a couple of fourth down conversions for Southern Miss to get their first touchdown of the day.
Yeah, you know, that's going to make that trip back a little bit easier, knowing that they have something to talk about that they were able to get done. And that was an excellent drive. And they can be very proud of the touchdown they just got there.
Eric Kresser remains in the ball game at quarterback for the Gators. A lot of reserves in there on the offensive line. They fake to Bilkey. Kresser swings it out to Chris Braun. Chris Braun to midfield. It's the second catch of his Gator career, a fifth-year senior walk-on from Brewholtz High School, and his first catch was for no gain. So that is a career play for that young man.
And that's great. Fifth-year walk-on. That's outstanding. You like to see those kids succeed perhaps more than any others. When they pay that kind of price, they walk on, they pay their own way. They have to prove to the coaches they deserve a chance. And he finally gets to start this game in his hometown.
Bilkey up the middle gets about 4 yards.
Unofficially, I think the Gator rushing game is around 45 yards right now. That's really anemic compared to what they would want to get. You would think in a blowout like this, they would be closer to the 170-yard mark in running the football. Typically, that's the kind of running game the Gators could count on, but not here this afternoon.
Gators average 179 on the ground. Of course, they've gone over 400 in passing, close to 500 now. Offside is the call on Southern Miss. The run up the middle is only a couple of yards. Chris Bilkey, that would have been his 4th carry of the season. But I believe the offside will be accepted because that's 5 yards and no down. So instead of 3rd down and 3, it'll be 2nd and 1. And even I can figure out to take that one.
You know, Bilkey's a 5th-year senior as well, isn't he?
Yes.
So he's not had a chance to carry the ball that much in his career, certainly.
Offside against the defense. Penalize them 5 yards. Repeat, 2nd down.
Bilkey doing a nice job blocking, obviously, but wants to carry the football from time to time. Yeah, there's his parents, so isn't that nice? Give them a shot cheering on the son. That's great.
On 2nd and short, Kresser looks down the sideline for Jack Jackson, and Jack is racked out of bounds at the 19. Good hit put on him by Melvin Ratcliffe.
You know, Ratcliffe certainly played an excellent game today. We've seen him with an interception and some big hits at the safety position. It seems to me that Ratcliffe is doing whatever he can in that secondary to help out, and he's closing, and Jack makes the catch and has a chance to make a little duck right there as he sees the hit coming. Yeah, that's right. Protect yourself as best you can.
Gators with double tight end. On the left side, it's Taurus Ross, redshirt freshman from Dade City, Pasco. Kresser throws the corner route, and it's overthrown, intended for Sorolla Palmer. It's more like a deep fade. Sorolla really didn't break for the corner.
Rod Thomas in coverage right there. You don't see the ball going to Sorolla that much either.
No, you don't. Wiley Rich in at center for the Florida Gators. 300-yard day for Eric Kresser. How about that? Some of the other guys, Keith McMahon, offensive lineman from Bradenton, Manatee, is in there. Elijah Brown, who switched from defense to offense this week, and Eli's in there at right guard. Wiley Rich from Alachua Santa Fe at center. They do the toss counter with the fullback. I don't think Florida's ever done it before, and it's a 1st down for Chris Bilkey. And maybe they'll give Bilkey a chance to score here in the 4th quarter.
Well, you'll recall when the 2 young tailbacks, or at least Eli Williams, went down, they were saying that Bilkey would be an alternate tailback if something happened to Fred Taylor. So he knows the plays, and that's what they're doing right now. They're letting him play the tailback position, and that's great to let the senior carry the football as much as he can in this game.
Bilkey again up the middle. He gets about 3 to the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Bilkey looking for that first career score. And you know he's excited. What is all this work for the Florida fullback? 7:15 to go in the game. The Gators closing in on the 50-point mark, and Bilkey checks out.
Well, it is the guy that usually plays fullback, but he's running these plays out of the tailback position. These are normally Fred Taylor's and Eli Williams plays.
Kresser to the corner. Palmer again. touchdown. Sorolla Palmer with his second touchdown of the year.
Yeah, I think Sorolla only had 3 catches, one of which was a touchdown coming into this ball game. He did a beautiful job there running the route into the corner of the end zone. The ball is the fade route laid out there beautifully by Kresser.
Okay, now Kresser's got 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, so the Gators have got themselves 3 quarterbacks who are proven to be very capable. Judd Davis, perfect on extra points all year long, and that is not about to change. 7 today. He's got 49 in a row this year. Sorolla Palmer out of Louisiana, the junior, getting the touchdown on that drive. And with less than 7 minutes to go, Florida piles it up to 55-10 over Southern Miss. The Gators' 64-yard drive in 7 plays. And Chris Bilkey getting to do a lot of the damage.
Now let's see. On the depth chart, next at quarterback would be Schottenheimer, right?
I would imagine Brian would get to play rather than Terry Dean at this stage, but maybe Terry would go in for 1 series.
I would vote for Schottenheimer, I think. Brian Schottenheimer, the young sophomore who transferred here. His daddy is the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Marty Schottenheimer.
Well, Schotty and Terry Dean are playing catch on the sidelines, so they're hoping they're going in. One of them will, I'm sure. The Swamp Chomp Towels. Haven't seen them in a while. Edge to kick off. Little wobbler. It'll finally be picked up at the 26-yard line and run up to about the 35. Sean Gamble, the free safety, in there on kick return on the run for the Golden Eagles.
Now you see a lot of changes on the numbers being worn by the Gator defenders right now. A lot of 3rd and 4th teamers getting a chance to play.
And a new quarterback is in the ball game for Southern Miss, number 17, Kevin Bentley. There you see the Gator defense against the run. It was a little shaky early. The Golden Eagles ran well in the first quarter, but not since. Bentley to throw. It's incomplete. He threw it behind his intended receiver, Montgomery. Mike Moten into the game for the Gators, putting on a little bit of a pass rush. Scott Perry, a walk-on defensive end from Lake Mary, in there. Caven Walton playing now for Florida.
This, Kevin Bentley started 7 games for the Golden Eagles last year. Had 2 touchdown passes against the Georgia Bulldogs last year.
That's pretty good. McDonald Ferguson into the game for Florida. Caven Walton with the big hit, and then his friends come up from their spots to finish off the play. 1-yard gain. It's 3rd and 9. 6.5 minutes to go. Next week, South Carolina. Then it's off to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt.
South Carolina is off this weekend, so they're getting a chance to put some things together to play this Florida Gator team. And South Carolina's had some trouble with their defense. So you know that they're going to be working extra hard to shut down whatever they can here when they come to face the fun and gun.
Vandy will have next week off to have 2 weeks to prepare. Flags everywhere. Quarterback now scrambling and will go out of bounds, and Walton will knock him down. No flag there, but we'll check out the flags on the line of scrimmage. Kevin Bentley, the quarterback, on the scramble. Likely to be offside on the Gators, I would think. Flags came down as soon as the snap occurred, and there was some movement.
Offside against the defensive line. Repeat, 3rd down.
So we'll have a 3rd and about 4.
Oh my gosh, Albert's getting a ride Is that the real Albert or a
facsimile? He lost his hat, whatever happened to him. Really?
Oh, I hope that there's strength enough in that student body section to get him down safely. It could be Alberta, then we'd be much more concerned, right?
On third down. Completes the pass, and he's got his man, and he's got a first down. That's Adam Kennedy from Panama City Mosley High School, taking the pass from Kevin Bentley as we go down to 5:45 to go in this homecoming game. Gators 55, Southern Mississippi 10. That has been, uh-oh.
Now this is live action we're bringing to you there.
Right. Bentley throws. He's got his man Kennedy again, and he's out of bounds at the midfield stripe. And we've got an injured player on the play. That is Cody Jones, the right tackle for Southern Mississippi, who's shaken up. Gain of about 4 on that pass play.
Oh, it's so tough to see a young man get hurt late in a game like this. Obviously, they're going all out to the last whistle blows and got caught up in the traffic inside.
Florida Gators came into this game second in the nation in scoring. Gators averaging 48.4 a ball game, and they are going to improve that average with this one.
Oh, look at this. Albert's going to make it. The crowd's on their feet. Albert is, oh, the cheerleaders have him now. All right.
No, Jim, did want to mention, now that we have an extra minute or two, people keep talking about Arkansas and talking about Florida, Alabama 3 for the SEC title game, but Mississippi State is still very much in it. They won again today, beating Arkansas. They are 7-2, and they've got Bama next week in Starkville.
So if they can beat Bama and Auburn beats Bama, Mississippi State represents the West, right?
That's right. Up the middle for about 4 yards, Harold Shaw. Kedra Malone now in at defensive back for the Gators, along with Weary, Lake, and Harris.
Of course, I like Mississippi State, but my preference would be that Alabama beats Auburn, and then we get a chance to play Alabama in the Georgia Dome. That would be my preference.
You want to see an unbeaten Alabama in the Georgia Dome?
I want to see an Auburn team with 1 loss.
Oh.
That's what it is.
First things first. On third and short. Quick drop. Quick pass completed to Kennedy, who's run out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And another first down for the Golden Eagles. 4:07 to go in this game, which is slowed to a snail's pace as Southern Miss, with a lot of out routes, is stopping the clock over and over again. 55-10, Gators on top.
Let's see, the Gators coming into this ball game giving up about 293 yards a game, and unofficially they've only given up 274 to the Golden Eagles today at this point.
Rolling right. He throws deep down the side. Jump ball. Fred Weary could not hold on. Weary and Eddie Lake were back defending, but the Gators could not get the interception. It's second down.
No, excellent coverage. They're talking to each other. Weary says, I had it. I had it, Eddie. If you hadn't knocked it out of my hands. Let's see. Fred Weary's going to make the jump, and Lake makes the jump. Yeah. Eddie Lake strips Fred Weary of the football. Of course, better have the ball on the ground than in the receiver's hands, and so you don't take any chances and you rip it out of anybody's hands. But there were two teammates. It was kind of like going up for the rebound, and both guys deflecting it to the opponent.
Quick pass thrown. It's intercepted. Haven Walton makes the pick at the 33-yard line. The tight end, Terry Hardy, juggled it, and then Walton just came in and picked it off.
And you got to believe it's his first career one, right? He hadn't had a chance to play that much. Taven Walton from Miami Carroll City. What a fertile recruiting grounds that's been for Florida Gator program. There we go. Off the back, Taven says thank you very much. And who is our quarterback? It's not Schottenheimer, it's Terry Dean.
Terry Dean has thrown for 1,431 yards and 19 touchdowns this year. Will run the Gator offense with 3:48 to go. Gators go straight up the middle. That's Ernie DuBose. I believe he's a nephew of Jimmy Du. Great Gator fullback of the mid-70s.
Yeah, I think the thinking with Terry Dean here, Larry, is that he's the senior and Schottenheimer being the sophomore, that Terry Dean gets the nod here. Homecoming, senior year.
Thing is, Terry's out there on the field with guys I don't think he's even met yet.
Perhaps.
On 2nd and 8, Dean will throw the quick hitch. Still on his feet before getting run out of bounds. There's Jason Dean. There you go. You don't think there's a little chance he checked off to little brother, do you? 3rd down and a couple with 2:40 to go in the ball game. The Gators.
Is Jason, excuse me, a scholarship or a walk-on? Or
well, he's a walk-on.
Is he?
Southern Miss was offside, but they'll take the play. Ernie DuBose. Ernie inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line.
Oh, Ernie, break outside, Ernie, and you're still running. Ernie's so excited with that huge hole. Had the chance to pop to the outside, but...
Offsides against the defense. Refused. 1st down.
Ernie DuBose.
Eli Brown, 68.
Oh, yeah, that big kid that was from Jacksonville Christian, I think.
University Christian High School.
University Christian, yeah.
I think he's going to do very well on the offensive line. Ernie DuBose up the middle for about 4 as we near the 2-minute mark to go in this game.
I recall we did that high school championship game that Elijah Brown played in. He was truly outstanding as a defensive tackle, and obviously he's got quick feet and such, so they move him to offense. There's a happy Bob Pruitt walking along the sideline, the defensive coordinator.
274 yards unofficially for Southern Miss. The Gators with double that at 5:53. There you see Eli, that right guard spot. Dean fakes into the line, pass is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by Cedric Walthaw at about the 25-yard line.
Well, Terry's disappointed. That's not his fault. The ball was deflected. Let's see who he's trying to go to. Is he going to Kenny Times? No.
That was David Nabavi in there, number 84.
Yeah, I think he was going to Nabavi, but the ball was deflected by one of the defenders.
Let's see how Southern Miss plays it. They're going to try to score again. Going the route, it's incomplete. Keeper Malone had a chance at the overthrown pass intended for Eric Booth. 1:20 to go in the ball game.
Well,
sorry, Jim.
Yeah, excuse me, Larry. Southern Miss will go to 5-5, and they've only got one more ball game on their schedule. They play at LSU.
They have LSU at home, I think, according to the schedule sheet I've got. We'll check that.
That would be unusual, I think, if LSU was playing at Southern Miss.
Complete pass to Brock on the crossing route. He's got room down the sideline. Demetric Jackson has an angle. Demetric Jackson will make the tackle at about the 10.
Well, the sophomore free safety, Demetric Jackson, really makes a great play here.
64
down
yards.
Fred Brock. There's a huge block along the sideline. Let's see if we can pick it up. Ooh, it was, right there. Oh, that was, crushing block. Was it on Mike Harris?
Was Ronnie Battle took the block, but it's Mike Harris who's down at the 41-yard line. So the Gators are now backed up to their goal line.
Let's see if we can pick up the route and the block again. It's a crossing route to the underneath receiver there. Brock. Oh, it's 42. Whew. 42 with a big block.
Tyrone Boulware.
Oh, awesome block, but look at the hustle right here. Dive, tackle, trip. Demetric Jackson saving the touchdown.
Well, with 1:06 and a couple of timeouts, the Southern Miss Golden Eagles have a great chance to get back in the end zone. Mike Harris apparently okay. He's gone to the sideline. Gators blitz on first down. Throw to the corners. Got a man overthrown.
Kedra Malone in coverage on Donald Cunningham. Cunningham breaking to the corner. Kedra Malone with a lot of speed right there. Was right in his pocket. Although Malone did not look back for the football, he was in excellent position. Second down. They'll be throwing, you would think, on every one of these opportunities right here.
McDonald Ferguson in there at defensive tackle for the Gators, along with Keith Council. Matt Pearson checks into the Florida lineup late. Rolling right, throwing for the corner. It's caught at the well, he didn't come down in the end zone. They're going to give a touchdown anyway to Kendrick Lee.
His feet were planted in the end zone, I believe.
Kendrick Lee coming back for the ball, caught it just before he left the end zone for the touchdown.
Kendrick Lee on the break to the sideline, does a 180, gets away from Kedra Malone. The knee and the feet are in the end zone. And it's a touchdown for the Golden Eagles.
Now that'll make the score a little bit more respectable at 55-17 if they convert the extra point. Gators have 12 men on the field. Freeman just does get off in time. And the Southern Miss extra point is good. And with 37 seconds left in this game, the Gator defense has given up another touchdown. Bob Pruitt's not going to be happy about that. That puts Southern Miss over 340 yards in total offense that drive.
Charlie Strong, another defensive coach along the sideline. Yeah, these coaches, they're generally perfectionists, and they want you to make the right decision, make the right effort on every play, and that was disappointing to Pruitt to see the Golden Eagles score, I'm sure.
The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel Florida by the University of Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. Along with Steve Babick and Jim Yarbrough, I'm Larry Vittel. Glad to have you along. Gator backfield coach John Reeves looking on with Danny Werfel. Werfel, Dean, Kresser. Florida now with 3 quarterbacks who, if you add it up, have thrown for about 2,400 yards this year.
John Reeves having a 25-year anniversary celebration with his teammates this weekend from that big Gator Bowl victory over the University of Tennessee back in 1969. But that was that super sophomore team that went 9-2. You see John Reeves, the record holder for many years of all the Gator passing records until Coach Spurrier brought his program here and they started lighting it up.
We're going to get an onside kick here from Southern Miss. The Gators get a bunch of guys up there pretty close. Pierce looking for the big bounce, doesn't get it, and Sam McCorkle falls on the ball at the Southern Miss 46. And the Gators can just take a knee and call it a day. Or Brian Schottenheimer can throw deep if he feels like it. Peter Jim Harrison gets a chance to play here in the final snap. Brian's only had 4 pass opportunities. He'll also be a junior next year. There's Ernie DeVos. Inside the 40, spins down to the 38-yard line, and unless somebody calls timeout, that'll be the final play of the ball game.
DeVos has some good quickness, doesn't he? He's been impressive in his few efforts here.
Well, Coach Steve Spurrier signals in a play with 13 seconds to go, and they're all huddled up. They want to get it right. By the time they break the huddle, this ball game's going to be history, however. Brian Schottenheimer looks at the clock, looks behind him, and that is it. And the annual homecoming game at the University of Florida becomes a walk in the park for Steve Spurrier's Gators as they took control of the game in the second quarter, breaking open a 7-3 contest and going on to win it by a final count of 55-17. Another strong performance by the Florida Gators. We'll return with some post-game comments after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Robinson. Down here in Green Cove Springs, they call me Easy. That's because I do business the same way I take life. Easy.
Easy, like the new Dodge Ram that meets the competition head-on. Motor Trend Magazine's Truck of the Year. Or the '94 Dodge Intrepid, dramatic styling, bristling with innovation. Consumer Reports mainstream sedan of the year.
Take an easy drive to Green Cove Springs and get a great deal from Ronnie Robinson. They don't call me Easy for nothing.
We're at Larry's Giant Subs to demo a Gazinta. And what's a Gazinta? All the great stuff that goes into Larry's Giant Subs, like fresh baked toasted rolls, farm fresh tomatoes, lettuce, and Olympic onions.
Imported ham, Genoa salami, oven roast beef, roasted turkey breast, smoked provolone cheese, and pepperoni.
Sliced thin and piled high. And where can you get this feast?
Well, he who goes into Larry's Giant Subs comes out with a
Gazinta.
Right. Larry's monthly special, always a foot long for only $4.29. All this month at Larry's Giant Subs.
Last year, Shaq led the Orlando Magic to their first playoff ever. This year, they're aiming for the top. Catch Shaq and the boys as they take on Charlotte, New York, and Philly in a triple header of NBA action starting Wednesday at 7:30.
Hi, this is Shaq. You can catch all the Magic action right here.
I spent a whole day in this suit.
It ain't easy being fat.
On the next Susan Powter Show.
Monday at 12:30 on Nifty TV 47.
Experience the excitement of sailing the open sea aboard the Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. For a limited time, you can ride for half price. Just bring a new unwrapped toy to the ticket window and receive a ticket for half price. Enjoy delicious dining, a scenic cruise, shipboard activities, and entertainment. Our cruise is a perfect day or evening getaway. The Emerald Princess Dinner Cruise and Casino. That you'll have fun. For a free brochure or to make reservations, call today.
Pass coverage, our fourth down pass coverage, again, is still bad. You know, it was bad a few weeks ago, and it's still, again, not the best. So I'm sure Coach Pruitt's going to chew out a few DBs on some of those fourth down plays.
Any concern with the offensive line? I know that Jason had to sit out the second half.
He sort of got rolled up, not too severe. Hopefully he'll be ready next week.
Okay, Coach, thanks very much. Again, the Gators victorious on this 1994 homecoming game. Let's go back up to Larry and Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve Babick. It was a big homecoming, and Coach Spurrier talked quite a bit about Eric Kresser, but here we go with quarterback number 3. He steps in. All he does is 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was one of those efforts that he had earned the honor on the field, and the coach needed to get him in the game to take a look at what he could do. But as he mentioned, Danny Warfel's a quarterback, and there's still some concern about the running game. Obviously, it's hard to find concerns when you win 55-17, but I think one of the things Spurrier's really interested in is getting that running game cranked up again.
Well, you figure you're going to need the running game down the line if you're going to face Florida State, very possibly Alabama.
Certainly so. The balance has been the key of the fun and gun offense, and but hey, the ball was in the air a lot, and the Gators are having great success throwing the football. The defense came up with some more turnovers today, That's another key to this Gator championship season.
Well, keep in mind, Southern Miss, a pretty good offensive team. They scored an early field goal and then didn't score again until it was 48-3. So the Florida defense, the first teamers particularly, I think, come away with good marks.
Well, this is a team that was 5-4 and it averaged over 40 points in their last 3 games, and they had little done until late in the game.
The Gator high-scoring machine rolls on to a big victory here for homecoming, and we hope you'll join us again for more Gator football 1 week from tonight when the Gators take on the Gamecocks of South Carolina. A Florida win clinches the SEC Eastern Division Championship and a return.
Staffs assembled in professional sports. The PBA group, they've done a wonderful job. Be
sure to check your local listings for Sports Channel and Gator Vision coverage in your area. I'm Larry Vitale saying so long for Steve Babbitt, Jim Yarbrough, and our entire Sports Channel crew. Once again, the final score, the Florida Gators 55, Southern Miss 7.
Gator football is brought to you in part by Ronnie Robinson Dodge, Jeep Eagle, Emerald Princess, your Gold Star Dodge dealers, and the Jacksonville Jeep Eagle dealers.